People to actually start filing in because we have that stream delay. But here we are. We're playing Cthulhu Dark once again with Kat Jenkins. Kat, I don't know why I can't bring myself to call the GM for Cthulhu Dark a keeper, but I think that's what it is.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of what it is, keeper, but I go by any name really, or you, game master, dungeon master, keeper. Yeah. You know,
the names we call you will get more colorful as you start to kill our characters.
This doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So we actually, other than me, we have an incredible cast today as well. So why don't we start? And I think if you're joining us from Facebook or YouTube, this is the first time we're streaming to those two places. We're multi-streaming. And of course, we're on Twitch as well. So drop comments into the chat. I believe we're on StreamYard today. I believe StreamYard's going to pull in comments from all three sources. And then, as I'll probably die 5 minutes in, I'll be really paying close attention to the chat at that point. But I think it makes sense. And this is Cthulhu Dark, very rules light. So, Kat, I believe we're going to walk through character creation, which is very fast, and maybe some of the rules as well. But first, if we could just kind of go around the horn and everyone kind of introduce yourself, plug all of the things you're working on. I know a lot of us here are working on things in the Call of Cthulhu world and other RPG stuff. Rina, I know you're involved in like 7 different systems right now. So, Kat, why don't we start with you since you're the keeper today?
Sure. So I'm Kat. I'm primarily a Twitch art streamer, doing ink and pen, dip pen art, traditional artwork, and painting. I tend to occasionally write Cthulhu Dark or Cthulhu hack stuff, and then never ever actually finish writing it. So if you want to see some more of my stuff, it's probably best to head over to Twitch. My handle is Catherine Jenkins Art. I will post a link at the end of the session because my name is weird and spelt strange. Yeah.
I should have made a banner. How do you spell it? Now I'm going to ask you to spell it right now. See, I could put up banners now, which, if I was prepared to do this, prepared to stream, I would have banners for all of our social media, but instead I just have Scott. So when it's your turn, Scott, I'm going to put your banner up.
Ready.
And that's how it's going to go. But thank you, Kat. And then
special.
London, this is a special day for us because this is the first time that you're joining us for anything, for streams or podcasts or any of that. I hope that we'll be able to do more in the future. My first introduction to you was just finding you organically on Twitch under Spot Hidden.
Wow, yes.
And I was like, wow, I'm not a good keeper. This guy's a lot better than I am.
Oh, no.
So welcome to the stream and tell us all the stuff you're working on.
Okay, yes. Well, hi. Thank you for having me. My name is London Carlisle, actor, producer, keeper of arcane lore. And as you mentioned, Spot Hidden. It's a show that me and my friends play in every week. I'm the keeper, and we just started a new campaign set at Miskatonic University, a modern day campaign. So there's lots of eldritch goodness there that I'm having a lot of fun with. But before anything else, as soon as I happened upon Ain't Slayed, maybe it's been well over a year ago, I immediately went out, bought Down Darker Trails, and started running it for my friends at home. So that really helped forge a love for Call of Cthulhu, like in me and with my friends. And like without that, I don't know, I don't know exactly where Spot Hidden would be. So thank you all for that. Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you. That's really cool. And maybe, we're playing Cthulhu Dark today, so we've got to do a Chaosium plug when we're doing a Call of Cthulhu game. And then we can ask them to sponsor the stream because we're really going to plug Down Darker Trails. That's a good idea. So what I'm doing now, I'm like very behind, but I'm going to show Kat's Instagram, right? Is that right, Kat? I think it is.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So follow Kat here. I'll leave that up for a minute, and then I'll post the link to Spot Hidden so you can go find London's work. And then when Rina's up, this might fill the page. We're just going to have like rows of shit that she's working on. And I say shit in an enduring way. It's all very good and high quality. But
most of it's for you. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, the stuff with us is
like
shit. Everything else is really good. Very good. We got our first like ever on Facebook, so I'm just excited looking at the thumbs up there. So thank you for that. And so Rina, now you're on deck. So so go ahead and bless us with all the cool things you're working on.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Rina. You probably know me from pretty much every single stream 8 Slade has done except for Alien. I have been on all of them except that one. So if you've seen our streams, you know me. I've also been on the Mr. Corbett arc with 8 Slade. So go check that out because I still go back and listen to it. It's great. Currently, I'm on the Old Ways podcast on their Horror on the Orient Express campaign as Lady Elizabeth Fitzroy. It's great fun. Having a lot of mythos, madness, and shenanigans already. And I've got an upcoming arc on the D&D podcast, The First Watch. It's called the Ryandim Heist. It's a lot of fun. We're playing very not sneaky characters in a heist, so it's gonna there's shenanigans galore for that. And if you follow the Old Ways podcast, we also have a Monster of the Week one shot coming up that I was in. Monster of the Week is great fun there. A bunch of other things that I'm not going to list off because Cup made me promise to keep it under 10 minutes. So just you can follow me on Twitter at snarky_Romulan. You can find me on Discord, Old Ways, 8 Slade, How We Roll, good friends of Jackson Elias, and probably 15 others. And I love to chat, love to talk to people about things and hear your feedback. So love to see you around.
All right, very good.
Almost forgot, running the Necropolis tomorrow on Twitch. This will be my first time GMing on the live stream. The players will be Cup, Kat, Wes, and Chuck from the main arc of 8 Slade. So if you want to see me traumatize them and kill them all, please drop by tomorrow. It's going to be great fun.
And that's at 1:30 Central Time, which is GMT -6. So just a half hour later than we're starting today. Rina has promised, well, she's going to kill me, obviously, but I think she's promised a lot of gore in that one. So I'm on the banners here. So you see Spot Hidden. So follow Spot Hidden on Twitch. That's where London is the keeper. And now I don't think Michael would really prefer this link, but it was the best I could do on short notice. So this is the Libsyn link to the Old Ways podcast, which is where Rina's playing Horror on the Orient Express. And I think if you just search for Old Ways podcast anywhere, right, like Apple, Spotify, things like that, you're gonna find it. Bless you, Scott. I actually have banners pre-prepared for you because we've played something on here before.
Oh, see if I can wrong foot.
Yeah.
You anyway.
So I'm actually going to put that up as you're talking, unlike everybody else. So Scott Dorward, welcome back. You're a player, which is always a lot of fun for us.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this. I don't get to play anywhere near enough. So, yeah, if people are looking for my stuff, yes, thank you. That's the main place, blasphemoustomes.com. That is the home of the Good Friends of Jackson Elias podcast, which I do with my good friends Paul Fricker and Matt Sanderson, wherein we talk about Call of Cthulhu, weird fiction, horror films, and all sorts of other stuff. I've also been running the Two-Headed Serpent for How We Roll for some time. That's the Pop Cthulhu campaign that I co-wrote with Matt and Paul, which has been going on now for a couple of years and shows no sign of stopping. In fact, we even had Rina as a guest on recently. Not that episode's gone out yet, but well, it'll be coming. Let's see. Apart from that, I'm running a World War Cthulhu campaign for Cup at the moment for Ain't Slayed Nobody, which is going out on the Patreon feed.
Bless you.
Yeah, that's. And that has been a lot of fun so far. We've only
he froze up. Once you start advertising on Twitch, if you're not an affiliate, they just lock your feed down. I think. Yeah, exactly. So, he's back now, I think. Okay. So sorry, you froze up for a second there, Scott.
Oh no. Okay.
Just close Discord.
Yes.
You'll be fine.
Okay. But yes, that is going very nicely so far. And even though we're only one session in, and I imagine it's going to get bloody quite soon.
Okay, so it's going to get worse. Very good. All right. Well, thank you, Scott. I couldn't tell if he was frozen or finished, so I'll assume you're done with that.
I've finished now.
Common problem.
So I don't have any plugs other than the banner that's up right now. Patreon.com/ain'tslayed. We're going to have the World War Cthulhu arc. My plugs are always apologies for being late with things. I have the Jeremiah prequel arc that I'm working on, which was supposed to come out at the beginning of the month. Then things happened in Texas and pushed my whole schedule behind. So that'll be coming at the end of the month instead. I'm still editing the collaboration with the Moon Crew. World War Cthulhu will be April, and we have episode 15 of our main arc. The main arc is getting intense, so we have the episode 15 coming up on Tuesday, so I'll be pulling 3 consecutive all-nighters to get that out, hopefully on time. And I think that's about it. So we've done our plugs. We've eaten into the rules, Kat. I think we have 1 minute for rules now. And we have
really simple. You have 3 dice.
Yeah, there's 3 dice, and that's about it. But I will kick it back to you now, Kat. And I want to replug Necropolis tomorrow with Rina. So follow us here so that you get the notification. It'll start 30 minutes later than today's session starting. Chuck, Wes, Kat, and me are the players, I believe. So that'll be a lot of fun. All
Yes,
right, thanks,
I'm going to be like a very well-spoken lady.
There's like a revenge element here because Rena's keeping for you tomorrow, and you're running the game for her.
I did
today,
be really nice to Rina in this game.
I did specifically ask for Kat to play in this one, so read into that what you will.
Right. Very good.
So yeah, Cthulhu. First thing first, just some housekeeping rules. Real life comes first. If anything does interrupt you, you need to go. Anything comes up at all, go. There is no, it doesn't matter that we're doing this live. If something that you need to do in real life happens, just don't worry. Just we'll pretend you got killed, eaten, a boulder fell on you, that kind of thing. The second thing is your mental health is more important than the story. If there is something in the story that you really can't be dealing with, now luckily I don't think that there's anything in this story that is particularly terrible, but you never know. I had somebody who was really very frightened by broken glass, and broken glass featured in the story, and it really freaked them out. So if there is anything that you can't deal with or you don't like, you don't need to give an explanation. You just say X and you put your hands together. It's the sort of form of the X card, but it's a bit difficult when you're online. So just to do that, I might ask you to clarify what specifically it is that you would rather we not cover, and I will find a way to work around it. If it's something fundamental to the story, we might have to pause it. It might need a minute to really think about how to work around it, but again, mental health is more important than anything else in these games. And the third thing,
it's a good time for content warnings too, I guess. Maybe as we're on that, this is going to have blood, gore, violence, profanity, drug use, children in peril. I don't know. We usually have that with Scott.
I mean, kind of, but not in the way that you might think.
Oh boy. Okay. Well,
we're the children in peril.
Like everything. We try not to be like assholes, but it's Cthulhu Dark, so it's going to be dark.
It is a horror game. If you are not into horror, if you're not into the kind of ghosty type things, the gory type things, this probably isn't necessarily the game for you. But you can make that decision at any point if you think, oh god, nah, I'm done, bye. But hopefully you'll stick around for the whole thing and enjoy it. So that's kind of the housekeeping thing out of the way. Cthulhu Dark, very simple system. You have 3 dice. The first one is your insight or insanity dice. Your second one is your occupation dice, and your third one is your human dice. Your human dice, they're all D6s. Your human dice is the thing that you roll to achieve any kind of human action. It might be that you're trying to figure out someone's lying, you might be trying to jump over a chasm, you might be trying to unlock a door. You would probably roll your human die. Your occupation die you would roll if you can justify why your occupation or your general kind of what you do in your life on a day-to-day basis applies. So if, for example, you were a locksmith and you were opening a lock, you could be like, well, I'm going to roll my occupation die because I know how to do this. If you're a butcher and you're carving somebody up, you're probably going to know how to do that. Don't, but, it's applicable. Your insight die is your insanity die. So you start off with 1 insight. All of you will begin on 1. If I ask you to roll your insight die, you need to roll your d6. And if it is above the number, so for example, if you roll a 2 or a 3 or a 4 and you're on 1, you go up a tick. When you hit 5, you want to actively start burning everything and running away. You don't want to be here. You want to try and get rid of as much mythos as possible, because that will bring your sanity down. When you hit 6, you are completely gone. Your mental state has deteriorated to a point where you are no longer a functioning human. You either dive into the chaos, or you jump off a bridge, or you do something to retire you from the game, essentially, because you are no longer able to function as a normal member of society.
Was that a shot at what I did last time, jumping off a bridge?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
So if you want to, you can try and push a roll by saying, I want to roll my insight. But if you roll higher than your insight, you might... So you can find out more information. So you could say, okay, I rolled my human die, I only got a 1. It doesn't really give me anything. I'm going to push it. I'm going to roll my insight. You might roll really well and get the information that you want. But by rolling really well, you've rolled high, so your insanity goes up. So that's a bit of a catch-22 situation when it comes to using your insight. You can roll against each other, and you can roll against me. So if you think it would be great if somebody failed, you can roll a failure dice against them. So they have to roll a dice, you roll a dice. If your dice is higher, they fail. If you roll the dice against me, I have to figure out, so for example, if I have a monster chasing you and you roll a failure dice against me and I fail, I have to figure out how does that monster fail. Cthulhu Dark is a narrative game. It's very much dependent on roleplay. There's not much in terms of mechanics. If you fight another human being, you may win. If you fight a Cthulhu monster, you're dead. It's a Cthulhu monster. It's going to eat your face. So when it comes to facing off with monsters and things, you're probably best off not. But there may be situations where you are, in which case I would recommend escape. But that may not always be the case. So the first thing that we're going to do is, we've not done character creation before on stream. So I wanted to kind of show it off a little bit, just to show you how easy it is and how quick it is to get into Cthulhu Dark now that we've kind of covered the rules. So what you need to be thinking about is what your character's name is. So you can be from wherever you want to be, but the main thing is that you're part of a cult group of musicians, festival goers, DJ, partiers, influencers, sort of producers and all that, and thrill seekers. You're all part of this cult group who host illegal raves, illegal festivals, and illegal gigs. And recently you've been sort of asked by your kind of the person who sort of manages your little group who set these things up, to go to a place called Tottingham-on-Sea, where 2 of your members have already gone because they found something amazing that they want to show you. They think it's going to be the best, most historical venue ever to host one of these raves. And they need you to come, make sure it all works, make sure that you can get all your equipment in, make sure that you can set everything up. So it's very much kind of a scouting mission, kind of, to see how you can use the space and set it up. So you're all part of this group. So you need to think about your occupation. Are you a musician? Are you a producer? Are you an Instagram influencer? What's your background? The second question you need to think about is, how are you related to each other? Are you just in your group together, or are you related in a familial sense? Are you in a relationship with each other, with somebody else in the group? So have a think about those links between you. And the third thing that I want you to think about is what your relationship is to 2 NPCs. There are 2 that have already gone ahead before you. They basically take the van with all the equipment in, because there's no point going to a venue and scouting it out if once you get your equipment in, nothing works. So they tend to find it, just check that you can actually, you're not going to fall through the floor or die being in this building. Then they'll get you guys in to really scope out the space and figure out what you're going to do with it. And they are Louise Bingham and Robin Granger. So figure out what relationship you have with those characters. So those are the 3 questions to have in mind. So you can have a discussion amongst yourselves, or if you've already got an idea, let me know and we'll go from there. Oh,
You're muted, Cuppy. You're muted.
Oh, that's the thing, that everything happens in Zoom.
It's probably better that I was muted because I was asking you to run through the whole thing again. It was Louise and Robert, is that right?
Robin.
Yeah. Louise Bingham and Robin Granger.
Oh, okay. Very good. I'm taking notes, a rarity here, so I'm on top of it. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have my basic idea. Like, hi, I'm like Kai Vane. I'm like a social media influencer. I'm really big on Instagram, guys, like so big. My channel on YouTube for makeup and for parties and all sorts of things has over 3 million subscribers. Oh my God. And I'm from California. And I came over here with my brother, DJ, and we came over for a year study abroad. I want to expand my base while also doing the studying thing because my parents insist they'll take away my trust fund money if I don't go to school. And we can't have that because how am I ever going to keep influencing if I don't have money? So I joined this group. It's getting me lots of subscribers in the local area and a lot of really hot guys and girls with really cute British accents, which I like adore. And so I'm here with my brother DJ, and I'm friends with the other 2 in the group, although I'm not sure if they actually like me because neither of them have subscribed to my channel or my Instagram yet. Like, bummer. And Robin is someone who helps me out with the lighting on my videos because she pointed out that like the lighting I was using wasn't the best for my natural glow. So she's been helping me set up better effects and lighting for my YouTube videos. And she's just like the best. And Louise, well, eh. So like, I'm so excited for this like rave, y'all. I have never like done drugs and I'm like so excited. I'm really excited to see
how you're going to be able to use Instagram, like social media expert as in your occupation die. I can't wait.
Well, with 3 million followers, she can come on the Ain't Slayed Nobody Twitch channel anytime.
And guys, there was like this really cool theme park that I went to. It was like abandoned and like everybody should go there.
Oh God, Scott, you know this character already?
Oh, yes.
This is an unland crossover now. I guess I'm Rina's brother. I think that was my decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
because you want me to not kill you.
I'll go next since my intro will be like 20 seconds. So my character name is DJ Vane, but I'm not a DJ, right? This is a rave, so it's going to be very confusing. So I'm just kind of tagging along. I'm an electrical engineering student. I don't care for any of this shit. But, you know, I like to tag along and criticize Robin for her shitty lighting and all the bullshit she thinks she knows. And I know that, you know, Kai doesn't like Louise, so I think I really like Louise. She's down to earth. She's really cool. I don't think she buys into all this Instagram crap either. So I'm just kind of tagging along, making sure that Kai stays out of trouble. If she ends up dead in Europe, my parents are going to kill me. So just kind of there to keep everybody out of trouble. Keep our noses clean, make sure Kai doesn't get into any drugs or absinthe or anything like that. And that's about it.
All right.
I have no occupation. I'm an electrical engineering student. That's it.
No, that works.
Okay.
That leads into me. You mentioned absinthe. I just went to a name generator and I got my name. My name is Dylan Cherry, and I'm the best bartender around. Now, absinthe is something that I specialize in, but I also have a lot of other drinks that I have crafted myself. They're the most famous part of these raves, and I'm happy to travel overseas and to serve them up to the crowd, to the fans, to the people.
I love Dylan already.
I'm already in love with this whole thing. Yeah,
I
this
love
is
you
great.
too. While we're waiting around, can I get anybody anything?
Just a bottle of absinthe.
I like Dylan because, like, I can't drink in America yet, which is totally lame. But he makes all the best drinks, and like, I can have them, and mom and dad can't say shit. It's great.
That's right.
But, like, Dylan, could you seriously like go subscribe to my YouTube channel? I've asked like 3 times. Thank you.
Oh, someone's calling from across the bar. Be right back.
And does Dylan have any particular relationship with Louise or Robin in terms of beverages making? Yes.
Oh, well, I'll say that he's worked with them, frequently in the past. So there's a very close bond between those people, professional bond. Yes. They he even made drinks for them before, named after each of them. So he has their orders memorized and created these cocktails for them.
Cool.
We're gonna have to name those cocktails
I already
at some
have.
point. Oh, you have? Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
Robin and Louise are the name of the cocktails. No.
I feel like Dylan's going to be very popular. Yeah, very good.
Cool. Guys, my pen's just died. Bear with me 2 seconds. I just need to grab one off the shelf. I can't make notes like this.
Oh God.
Scott, please, are you basing your character on our characters? I sure hope so. You're just going to come in with somebody who's going to kill us all?
Not even remotely.
Right, I have a pen. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Okay. So, what I was thinking was, with Louise, have you got a background sorted out for her already? Or if I make my character her brother, can I then kind of spell out our joint background?
Yeah, Louise has not got any background beyond what she functions as in this scenario.
Okay. In which case, yeah, I'm playing Clinton Bingham, who he and Louise are the sons of a guy who was the children of a guy who was a big DJ back in the 90s and hasn't really had much of a career since then, but sort of the rave scene was what we grew up in. And as a result, he just always seems to end up involved with shit like this, even though he fucking hates it. This is his dad's stuff. It's boring, and I mean the only reason he really tolerates any of it is because the drugs are good and there's a chance to get into trouble, and that's the only thing that makes him feel alive anymore.
What, is he the type of guy who'll watch a match burn just to
Pretty much, just to feel something when it burns down to the skin. Yes.
Was that 90s DJ Vane by any chance?
Oh God.
And Scott, what's your occupation as Clinton?
I was thinking thrill seeker.
Thrill seeker.
Parkour? Kind of thing?
You fuck up. Now, cool. So, sort of, again, not very long. We've already got connections between all of the different characters. You're all part of a group anyway, so that gives you a connection. But we've already got brothers and sisters and people who have worked together closely to the extent where they've like named things after each other. You know, that kind of friendship is pretty important. Sorry, I just read My Go Margarita and it was awesome. So you guys, Louise and Robin have gone ahead of you in the big van. It's kind of that the van that's got all of the like it's got basically test equipment in, so you can double check that the venue that you're going to be in, you can, one, get the equipment in there, two, you can hook things up. If you can't hook things up, there's places to put it and there's things that you can do. So they kind of take all that stuff with them. And you received a message basically saying, you need to come here. We have found the most spectacular venue. You're not going to believe it when you see it. You have got to get here, seriously. And then there's about 5,000 exclamation marks and one question mark where obviously someone's just tapped the wrong thing. And what they've basically said is you need...
Oh, God. Last time Louise found something like that, it was a disused butt lens.
hey, Butlins is cool.
Scott, was your name Clinton? I edited your name, but I couldn't remember
Yes.
what you said. Okay.
Yes, it was. Not Clinton.
The only problem is, Robin, with all of the various different exclamation points and question marks, has only given you a very small address, which is Tottenham-on-Sea East Cove Beach. So you start driving there. You're all together in one van. It's one of those little kind of little 1970s party vans that you take with you that can like flip out into a little tent. Smells very much like weed. And it starts sort of going. You've driven quite a way, and you start going down these country roads that are just dirt and hedges and grass in the middle of it, and the van's kind of going like this. And it gets to a point where your sat-nav is going crazy, and it's telling you to go here, go there, go through a river, go around in circles, and you just can't seem to find this cove. But you do find the village of Tottenham-on-Sea. Now, as you get there, you're starting to get very low on petrol. And your car, whilst shaking down these little country roads, how on earth do you think you're going to get a bunch of people down here for a big party? You're not entirely sure. But you start seeing in the distance, just on the horizon, it's starting to get dark. The sun is sinking below this sort of vast ocean where you can kind of see the hot hills rolling down towards the town and sort of a fishing dock. You do see this petrol station, which looks very, very sort of dilapidated. You don't think many people come through here. It's got wood panels on the side that have kind of been slapped together from various different types of wood. The two pumps, one of them is out of order and the other one looks dubious at best. The windows, they're all very much dusty and dark. There seems to be a lot of notices up in the windows, like advertisements. A lot of them are peeling. There's this box where newspapers sit, and the newspapers most of them are gone. There's what looks like a very sad tourist section, which is kind of like one slightly deflated beach ball and a single kid's spade, and what looks like a cheap knockoff of maybe Superman but dressed as Spider-Man, castle-shaped sort of like sandcastle box, essentially. And you pull into this petrol station because you are absolutely lost.
Who's driving this van? Anyone volunteer?
Not me.
No.
Okay.
I'll do it. Oh, okay, Dylan's driving.
All right,
I just wanted to know who to yell at. So,
Yell at yourself.
yeah. All right, so Dylan, you're driving?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Dylan, after we get gas here, do you want me to take over? It seems like you're having trouble.
Having trouble. Okay. Yes. You get us out of this, and you know what? We'll put all the blame on you once you're driving. Okay. I'm gonna go in and see if I can find some limes here. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Limes.
Like limes at like a gas station.
Yes. I mean, you know how many
Bad.
people have limes in their drinks?
Limes, like gas station lime, sounds like a really cool drink. You should like try that.
Yeah.
I think
And
we'll
I
be
figure
lucky
out-
if they got long.
Oh, Scott, you froze again.
He must be plugging something again.
And it was revealed
Clinton,
that
go back
Clinton
to
was
sleep.
a robot the entire time.
That's a twist. Well, I'm going to go in and see if I can find something to drink. Or all you guys have is alcohol, so I just need water.
Yeah, I mean,
Lame.
you draw the door of the van across the side and sort of step out. It's very quiet. It's kind of one of those moments where you look around and you feel like a tumbleweed, if they should exist in this setting, would whirl past you. You can hear some seagulls off in the distance. They don't sound particularly happy. And you can kind of see... Can you roll me your human die, please?
Oh, shit. Can we get some Foley on those seagulls while I try to figure out how to... Oh, wrong one. Sorry, Kat.
That's okay.
I can do the seagulls from Finding Nemo. Bye. Mine.
Mine.
All right, I rolled a 5, so I'm hearing the seagulls loud and clear.
Cup, you notice that there's quite a few missing posters on the window. It sort of says missing, and it says Susie Dean on one, and there's a young girl, she looks about 16, 17, just sort of staring blankly out. It looks like it's dated from about a year ago. And there's another one, which is Alistair Dean next to her, and he's also sort of staring out, and his was also a year ago, about the same time. And there's a couple of other girls and boys, sort of all are in their sort of early 20s, have sort of gone missing. They're all peeling off. They look like they've been there a long time. They look like they haven't been, nothing about the front of this shop looks like it's been maintained. The door does have an open sign on it, and you just see through the dirt a pair of eyes staring at you. And you get this really odd feeling that whoever is staring at you through that door has been there the entire time you guys pulled up and had been discussing coming in. And the minute you look and lock eyes with this sort of person looking through, they kind of jump and scurry away back into the darkness of the shop.
All right, well, at least we know it's really open. I am getting a little bit of echo on Kat's voice from somebody's feed, so if you have Twitch open or something like that, it's probably me. That's what usually happens when I call this shit out. But just make sure you don't have Twitch audio or something playing. All right, so now that I know it's open, I think I am just going to try the door, see if I can go in.
Yeah, it opens and a little bell jingles.
Okay.
It's quite dark in here. There's maybe 2 strip lights in the ceiling. There's a lot of food produce on one aisle. There's a freezer in the back with all the milk. There's kind of a load of lottery tickets in a kind of container on the sales desk, and you don't see anybody, but there is a little bell on the desk itself.
Okay. Is there lime? Are there limes? I want to pick one up and
there
throw
is
it to
no fresh
Dylan.
food in here. You're more likely to get scurvy in this building than prevent it. So
okay. I'll see if I can find like lime potato chips or something to throw to Dylan when he walks through the door. Just as my sense of humor is not good. It's going to be a real stretch for me to play this character.
You look through all the crisps, and you notice that none of these have been replaced for a very long time. All of the packets are really dusty, and it looks like a lot of the food produce has not been cycled out.
Okay. I'm
fact,
just going to keep walking the aisles,
well.
see if anybody else follows me, and I don't want to ring that bell until somebody else is in here.
Well, I think it's like lame, and I don't want to get like dirt and stuff on me. So like, I'm just going to take some pictures, because this like rundown place with my high fashion style will get me so many likes. Like, can you imagine the pictures? Oh my God. And I just start taking selfies.
Yeah. Can you roll a human die?
Okay. That's a 4, so success.
As you're taking these pictures, you're various different poses and stuff of the garage, kind of in front of the window and all that kind of stuff. You notice again in kind of the reflection, there is somebody watching you, and it looks like an older lady, and she doesn't look particularly pleased that you're there. She looks very stern.
Like, is she looking at me through a window?
Yeah, so she's looking at you through where the counter is.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I just hold up my phone and I, like, take a quick picture. Like, I turn it to get the right angle, and I'm just going to call it The Watcher. And I wave cheerfully at her. Yeah. And then just, like, start uploading it on Instagram. The Watcher at, like, some cool place, like, down by the sea. Hashtag blessed, hashtag cool, etc.
It's like 500 hashtags.
Hashtag creepy eyes.
Yes.
How's the reception
Hashtag
out
stalker.
The reception's actually surprisingly good. Yeah.
Here, Kat? Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's a nice change. Most of these things start with no.
I'm going to be watching them out the window now, wondering what the fuck's taking them so long to get in here.
Yeah. While the others are messing around, Clinton's going to get out and go around the back of the garage and look for somewhere to take a piss.
Yeah. Cup, you're obviously rummaging around with the crisps.
Yeah, of course.
You hear a voice kind of go, psst. Oi.
Yeah.
Over here.
What?
And there's somebody sort of leaning on the counter, like leaning over, trying to look at you.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to them. They're like, oh, hey there. We're a little bit lost. What's going on? You think you can help us?
You see kind of a woman in her 50s. She's got kind of quite thin blonde hair, and she looks like she hasn't really slept in a while. And she's kind of leaning on the counter. She's quite hunkered down, so you're not surprised you probably didn't see her. She might have been behind the lottery tickets, or
Okay.
and she looks very sternly at you, and she sort of seems to assess kind of you in the way that people tend to assess sort of strangers, like they just don't trust them. You're lost.
And DJ's gonna kind of like sarcastically mimic her body language and lean up on the counter and be like, "We're lost." Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, turn around and go then. You're not in. Don't. You're lost. Why? What you doing here?
I'm sorry. We're trying to meet our friends out here. And he has the address, right? So he can kind of delineate that.
Yeah. So are you going to show her the text message that says the East Cove Beach?
Yeah. We're looking for the East Cove Beach. Just tell us where it is. We'll get out of here after we fill up the van.
Yeah. Can you roll your insight die?
Oh fuck! I knew this lady was gonna kill me. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh dear Lord. Okay. You realise that this woman is not trying to be rude to you because she doesn't like you, but because she's terrified. She's trying to put you off, and you get a very strong feeling that she's basically trying to tell you to kind of turn around and go, but not because she's like, turn around and go, I don't like you. It's turn around and go, please, oh God, turn around and go. But she's saying it entirely with her eyes.
Okay. With DJ's personality, I think it has to be striking, because usually people do just want him to leave because they don't like him. So I think this must be very plain. So he's going to kind of like look in on it. Are you okay, miss?
And Scott, you are behind the garage, and you're just trying to... excuse me.
Fine, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
We have a bathroom.
You do? Where? Oh, well, a bit late now.
There's an old gentleman. He's in his 50s. He's got kind of a spade, and he's leaning on it, and he's got his hand on his hip, and he's kind of looking at you a little bit like, oh God, more scum of the earth, kind of.
Anyway, this is the seaside. I thought everyone just pissed everywhere around here.
No, we're still civilized, kind of.
What, really? I'll say, looking up at the back of the petrol station.
This guy hates you already. Yeah, mate. We have toilets here. It's not the arse end of nowhere.
Oh, live and learn.
Do you need the bathroom, sir?
Well, not anymore now, but no, thanks for the thought.
And he's kind of looking at you as if to sort of, he's kind of squares his shoulders a bit and sort of sticks his chest out as if to sort of be like, I'm going to stand here until you leave. Because he doesn't want you pissing behind the petrol station.
Oh. I think he's a bit late for that.
Have you already gone?
Scott, Scott is going to die first.
Yeah.
Scott is going to die first.
Like,
you can be
I'm
a break
up and
up.
down, and it's like
I'm assuming he caught me in mid-flow. So
yeah.
And you just turned and peed on him.
He's doing that thing where he's maintaining direct eye contact with you and not looking anywhere else.
Oh,
Okay. I'll take my time shaking out the last few drops.
He sort of picks up his shovel and he walks round to the front and kind of looks at Kai and Dylan and sort of frowns at you both and is like, tourists? Don't really get tourists here.
I look that way and just go back to the van. I'm just going to try to fill up since we needed some petrol. Not even going to talk to him. Does it come on immediately?
Yeah. It starts filling up.
Okay, great.
He kind of eyes the tank as if he was a little bit unsure that it would probably start working, but it did. So he seems to look a little relieved. And he kind of looks at you, Kai, and he kind of looks at you like he sort of really frowns at you and is kind of like, right, and starts kind of going into the shop. Cup, you, the woman sort of opens her mouth to kind of talk to you, and then as soon as this gentleman enters the garage, she sort of shuts her mouth, and she just sort of steps back and is like, Martin, love, this gentleman needs some crisps, and I'm guessing you're paying for the petrol as well, love, yeah?
Ah, shit. Yeah, I guess I will. Can DJ like type blink twice if you're not okay on the phone and say, yeah, so the address is here. If you could just help us find this place, that would be really helpful, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, you feel this gentleman sort of loom ever so slightly over your shoulder, and he puts a real heavy hand on your shoulder. His hands quite wet, and it seems to be his fingertips are kind of covered in damp soil. And he kind of grabs your shoulder and he goes, "All right, mate, are you and your friends all right? Are you looking for somewhere?" And the woman kind of she just sort of bustles and she kind of flashes you this look and sort of shuffles off into the back of the shop.
Okay, so DJ shoves the phone into his pocket and says, "Yeah, we're just looking for this this place that I'm sure I remember the name of. What was it, the East Shore or something?" "Oh,
do you mean the East Cove Beach?"
"Yeah, the East Cove Beach. That's it. Sorry, I'm from America, so I don't know shit."
Well, you mean you should have just said something. I'm sure the missus would have pointed you in the right direction. Here. And he kind of moves around the counter. He seems a lot more friendly than she did. And he picks up like a coastal map that's completely covered in dust and sort of slaps it down on the table. Opens it up and he kind of draws a line through the town. He's like, "You want to follow this road? Go around this roundabout, take a left, go up the hill, go down the hill, go up the hill, go down the hill. Oh, no, wait, that's not right. Go back up the hill, go down the hill, go up that hill instead, go down that hill, and then you should find a car park. Then you'll want to walk along the coastline, down the cliffside steps, and then you should be there."
Yeah, I'm a male engineer, so I'm just going to nod and say, "I got it. Yep. That's fine."
He's drawn it all on
I'm sure I won't get lost.
Is this guy the Grand Old Duke of York by any chance?
Can we get a discount on some of these expired crisps?
He kind of looks at the crisps and sort of frowns, and he's kind of like, you know what? How about this? Because you're tourists, you know, we're always looking for new tourists here. You can have that on the house. In fact, you can have the petrol on your house too.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, thank you. All right, that's great. Well, I appreciate you, sir. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Hey, what's the deal with all the missing people around here? You got all the shit up on the front window.
His expression kind of changes, and he goes from being quite jovial to this frozen smile. And he's sort of like, we don't, sorry, lad, you might not know the ways of the English folk. We don't talk about that.
Okay. All right, then. Well, you put the flyers up, so I assumed you'd want us to be on the lookout or something, sir.
No, I would not bring the subject up in town. It's a touchy one.
Okay. Are y'all doing okay here?
Do you want to roll your human or well, you can roll your human die if you want.
Fuck, I was so close to not saying anything else. Okay. I can't help myself.
Also, Cup, your sanity has gone up to 2 because the first time you rolled your dice, you rolled a 6.
Oh, I thought you forgot. Okay. So am I rolling 2 die or 1 here? 2 dice.
You're rolling your human die. If you want to push it with your insight, you can, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. Wow, I am rolling high. Okay.
So, again, you get the feeling that this gentleman is scared, but he has a different attitude to his wife. This one isn't so much one of wanting to keep you away. This is more kind of a it's more he doesn't really want to tell you any of the information, but he quite clearly knows a lot more than he's letting on. And you get this feeling from him that the look in his eyes when you mention the missing people, it's slightly unhinged.
Unhinged, okay. I thank you for the free things. I'm gonna walk briskly out the door to let Dylan know we got free gas. I think free petrol. Hey Dylan, fill it up all the way. This is on the house.
On the house?
Yeah. This is free.
Cool, awesome. All right, so I continue to fill it up. Any lines
a gas can in the back? Yeah.
Do we have a gas can? Can we have one? Just in case?
Oh, that might be handy later.
We should, so we can set the whole thing on fire later.
Yes. Yes.
Start with the end in mind.
Is that something we have, Keeper?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can have one in the back of the car. Yeah, you have a can of gas and you fill it up.
Such generous people here. Oh wow. Okay, so I grab that and fill that up as well.
Yeah, about that, Dylan. I'm gonna get in like real close to Dylan now, and I'm like a standoffish guy, so this is very unusual for me. But I'm gonna get in close so they can't hear me. Let's make it fast. So the people here are fucking weird. There's something wrong with them.
What do you mean? Are they like drugged out or something?
Maybe the woman at the counter. She seemed terrified. Like something was wrong with her. And then you talked to that guy. He was out here, out in the front. He came in and I asked him about those missing people on the posters, and he started to like freak out a little bit. It's weird. I just feel better if we get out of here.
Understand.
I take a picture of them while they're having this conversation, and it's like #candid conversation.
They did draw me a map, and I memorized that, so we'll be fine as far as directions go.
Okay, all right, great. What about Clinton? Has anybody seen Clinton? Is he around?
He's shitting out back
Clinton hasn't come back yet. No, he's still wandering around the back. When having seen this guy digging up something around the back, he's going to get nosy and just see what it is. Because
for fuck's sake.
I'm sure it's harmless, but yeah, it's the closest thing to something interesting that's happened today, and he's just really hoping it turns out to be a dead body.
So I'm about to be able to check off the digging in the back and finding a dead body bit on the bingo sheet. Is that what
you're saying? So you go round the back of the petrol station.
Well, I was already there.
You're already there, yeah. In which case, do you want to roll your human die to sort of see as you're obviously looking around for disturbed earth and marks and things like that?
By all means. Yeah, I'm not very happy with that as a result. I'm going to go for a re-roll and roll my insight die as well.
Yep. I love it when people do that.
So the first die is going to be my human die. The second die is going to be my insight one. So they're both 5s.
Okay, so you go up a sanity point. You're looking around on the floor, and then something kind of you start smelling something. It smells really fishy and kind of salty at the same time. Like, I mean, you're by the sea, but this is quite an intense smell. And you kind of sniff around, and you see this big dumpster. And you kind of wander towards it, and you see where the earth has recently been dug up, what looks like underneath the dumpster. Do you want to move the dumpster away?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So you kind of move the dumpster out of the way, and you see all this sort of fresh earth that's obviously been dug up. And you just feel this kind of it looks like quite a large amount of dirt has been kind of dug here. And you kind of, it looks very much like it's been churned. And you can also see quite a lot of worms and kind of insects crawling over this like pile of dirt. Just get this feeling that it's just not quite right.
Oh, definite dead body then. Okay. Wait, what is there in the skip at the moment? Is there any kind of waste wood or anything like that in there? Anything rigid that I could use as an improvised spade?
There's some old cardboard boxes. There's a plank of wood in there.
Yeah, okay. I'll use that and have a little dig there.
Yeah.
Because
you
I
start
am
kind
that
of
bored.
You start moving the earth away. And as you move the dirt away, there's that fishy smell just seems to really like hit you pretty hard. And then when you kind of move the earth away, and you start seeing some plastic sheeting, and you kind of move the dirt off that, and then you kind of poke the plastic sheeting away, and your heart's sort of going like, because all you can think about is, oh my god, what is this? It smells like decay. What is under here? And as you move the sheeting away, it's a load of fish.
Well, fuck.
But it's a lot. It's a lot of fish. And it's this massive pile that seems to be like, they're all piled on top of each other and buried in the earth, covered with this kind of plastic tarpaulin. And there just seems to be an absolute ton of them. When you're looking a little bit closely, some of them look like they've had chunks bitten out of them.
Okay, like big chunks.
Yeah, just like somebody's taken the fish and gone.
Okay.
The smell is really bad.
Seems fishy to me.
When you tell bad puns on the stream, we put your Twitter handle up so that people can hate follow you.
What can I say? I'm a genius.
Something.
Technically, you did find dead bodies.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Are we going to count that for the bingo sheet, though?
It needs its own new square, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then somewhat dejectedly, I'll wander back to the van and just tell the others, yeah, well, good news, they're burying bodies around the back. Bad news is it's just fish. And then I'll just get into the van.
Like, burying the lead like that is like not cool. You had my hopes up. Like, I thought I was going to be able to like start a murder podcast, like one of those true crime podcast things. And that would have been so good for my numbers and my engagement. God, Clinton, you're such a moron. Oh,
You can't even stand the sight of blood. What are you going to do with a dead body?
I don't know. I can either like get you to take pictures, or like I can take a picture and then barf, you know.
Anything for viewers, I guess, the followers.
Like, how am I ever going to host a true crime podcast if I don't find any true crime? God.
Look, that's it, Kai. Yeah, that's it. You come round the back with me. Take a look at these fish. I'll get a photograph of you vomiting over them. And even if your followers don't like it, I'm sure we can find a fetish site somewhere that's really into it.
Like, it's not fun if it's fish. Like,
fish.
That is not the kind of scale I talk about on my social media.
Not the type of scale, huh?
Uh-huh.
Can I make a fish cocktail? Is that anything anybody would be interested in? Can't believe I haven't thought of that before. Okay.
Do you want to roll your occupation dice for this to figure
Yes.
out.
I think like the drag queens who come would be interested because they're like trying to be fish all the time.
It could be a hit if they like the.
In your knowledge, Dylan, of the various culinary arts and in your exploration of various cocktails, there is an old Roman dish, a sauce that was prepared called garum, where they would bury the fish, the guts especially, and they would ferment it over a long period of time and use that as a form of sauce. So maybe you can make a garum cocktail, maybe garum and gin, and you can have a little fish head on a stick, possibly.
Did you
This
say
is out of
John
character.
Scott would drink that?
This is out of character, but I call it the deep one.
And fin.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's it. I have to get London's Twitter handle now. Oh, shaming.
We have no shame, Cuppy. You know this.
So you guys bundle into this van all together, obviously bemused with your recent encounter, and you start driving away. Can you all roll your human die?
Okay.
You rolled a d20.
I got a 5.
Okay, guys.
I got a 5. I like see everything.
Well, Scott rolled 13, so he's now completely insane.
I rolled 3, finally, not a 5 or a 6.
Cool. Okay, so when you're sort of driving along and you're looking out the windows, and sorry, my throat decided it wanted to stop. So Scott, Clinton, and DJ, you guys kind of glance in side view mirrors as you're driving away, and you see sort of the gentleman come out of the petrol station, and he kind of walks into the middle of the road with his spade, and he sort of digs it into the ground, and he just sort of watches the van drive away. And then as you're kind of driving along, you start going through the town of Tottingham-on-Sea. And as your van passes through, there's a couple of people moving along the street, just sort of going for a walk. They all seem to be kind of in their sort of 40s, 50s, 60s. There's nobody particularly young here. It seems to be quite a sort of a bit of a pensioner town, or sort of a place where middle-class people kind of go to retire by the beach if they've got enough money, which nobody ever has. But you kind of go through and you see all these people, and as your van drives past, every single one of them just seems to turn and sort of watch you drive by. And at the first time it happens, it's kind of a bit weird. The second time it happens, it's very odd. And then sort of you realise that every single person just turns their head and watches you drive through the town. And it's a little bit unnerving. So can you all roll your sanity dice?
Like, this is a total creep show.
Yeah, it's like a horror movie.
Yeah, they all need a drink or something, a stiff one too.
I could use one. I got a 5, so my insight definitely goes up.
Yeah, mine goes up
like-
too.
I am so good at insanity. Like, I am the best.
Also got a 5.
I was hoping mine was a
Everybody
2,
who-
but it's a 6.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Everybody who got
taunting you.
2 or above, you go up. Tick if you are not already on 2. Excuse me. Kai and DJ, as you're driving through this town, you're kind of watching, and there's a lot of houses that have been abandoned, lots of sort of shuttered up, and DJ, you especially notice this. Those missing posters are everywhere. They're in windows, they're on posts, they're on boards, they're on lamp posts, they're kind of everywhere that you kind of look around. There's just a missing poster after missing poster after missing poster. There seems to be a considerable lack of cars here as well. and you can kind of see that the people who are walking around, as they kind of look at you, they look exhausted. They all look knackered. They look like they've been up for days. And as your car kind of goes through the town, you kind of really start focusing down on there are no children, there are no teenagers, there is nobody in their 20s, and it just really starts to unsettle you. It kind of feels a little bit like some kind of weird sketch show or like something out of the Twilight Zone. Eventually your car kind of goes up and down and up and down and then turns, and then you forget, then you remember what he said about not going up or down, and then you go back again and then up and down, and you find yourself in a little car park. And there's another van parked there, and there's a girl, she's leaning against the van, she's got sleeve tattoos, she's sort of texting on her phone, she's got a flashlight on her belt, and she's just sort of like just reading a text message, and she kind of looks up and blinks at you, and you can see that it's Louise. And she kind of smiles at you guys and kind of waves, and then she kind of puts her phone away, dusts her hands off, and kind of waits for you to get out of the car. She looks really excited.
Driving up, I honked the horn unnecessarily. She did see us.
A bunch of seagulls in the distance are disturbed on a nearby dune, and they all fly up, making loud noises as if a little bit pissed off with you.
Mine.
As long as I don't have to roll sand on that, that's fine.
Yeah, I slide the door open and I just say, Louise, what's up?
Dylan!
Hello. And I come in for a hug.
Yeah, she gives you a massive hug, and then she kind of gives you a squeeze. She can give a bear hug. She's like, oh, she almost picks you up off the ground, and then she kind of plops you down, and she kind of dusts her hand. She goes, oh my God, Dylan, oh my God, Dylan, oh my God, I can't wait for you to see this.
Okay, yeah.
Kai pops her head out like, what's the tea, y'all?
Yeah, exactly. Are we looking at two different places here? This doesn't seem like our normal spot.
Yeah, you've really fucking outdone yourself this time, Lou, haven't you? You really have. I mean, this is. I'll tell you what, this is even better than fucking Butlins.
You know what, Clinton? You are gonna eat your words. I swear it. Seriously. And Kai, you're gonna flip your shit. I swear to God. And she kind of like claps her hands together, and you're not quite sure if she's maybe taken something or not, because she's really energetic. And she kind of like bounces around. She sort of grabs Dylan's hands and she kind of shakes them. And she's like, okay, guys, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you seriously ready for this?
I feel like we need it now. If this is this good, we got to see it.
She pulls the door of the van aside and she tosses you each a flashlight. And she also tosses you each a hard hat as well. And then she kind of closes up the door.
Spelunking.
And we're not going spelunking. Trust me, I hate caves. I'm so sick of caves. I feel like everything I do always seems to be in a cave. Anyway,
you should try getting a boyfriend.
You remember that rave?
Huh?
It might help.
You remember that rave? You remember that rave that Dad organised when we were kids in that cave in Devon? I mean, it was great, except he didn't look at the fucking tide tables, did he? I mean, to be fair, I mean, with that bunch of tossers, they'd all drowned. It would have been fine.
Knees in salt water. You've never lived. Oh my God, you're such a baby. It's not my fault that you slipped on a fish, okay?
Fucking fish.
Like, Clinton, stop being so shellfish. We got work to do.
Louise is just going to look at Kai and then kind of be like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. She's been like that all day.
The fans like the jokes. I give my fans what they want, and what they want is this and the jokes. So we're gonna give them this and the jokes. That's it.
How many of those 3 million are bots, Kai?
Louise is just gonna lean ever so slightly to Dylan and be like, "Is there a way that we can just push her off the cliff and just pretend it was an accident?"
If we get away with it, I'm sure somebody would. Maybe even your brother.
Louise is going to clap her hands together.
Including your brother.
Flashlights on. It's getting to evening. and she's kind of going to bounce up the side of this sort of massive dune, and she kind of leads you on a bit of a walk, and every few minutes she's sort of stopping and she's kind of going, seriously, it's worth it. Seriously, it's worth it. Seriously, it's worth it. You're not feeling that it's going to be worth it.
At this stage, unless it's a unicorn that gives unlimited blowjobs, it's going to be a letdown.
I take a selfie of myself with the surroundings with a really like resting bitch face and like hashtag bored, hashtag lame.
As you come over the hill, before you stretches a beautiful cove. It's like a really long sandy beach, which is a little bit it's like not very common for here. Usually this is all pebbles and kind of rocks and things, but this is a beautiful sandy beach, and it just stretches out in front of you, and the waves are kind of crashing, bringing up tendrils of seaweed, and sort of the starting to get, it's very much darkness now, and on the horizon, sort of not horizon, but quite close to you across the cove, you see jutting from the rocks a mound of kind of stone and various kind of bits of debris, and sat perfectly upright, wedged onto the side of this cliff, is an absolutely enormous cruise ship. And it's completely empty. It's got a cordon around it with chain link fence. It's a huge, what you can only think is maybe a 6-deck ship. It's massive. It's got a swimming pool on the back. You can see where it's just sort of wedged itself into the rocks, which seems to be like a V. So it's not slanted to the side. It's almost perfectly upright, and it's kind of almost shorn into the rock. So the front of it's very much kind of crushed, but the majority of the ship itself is perfectly preserved. It's kind of rusted. It looks very old. It looks like it's been there for years. And you can just see a couple of lights on one of the decks. And you can see that there's some scaffolding that goes up the side where it looks like maybe there's been a salvage operation, or it seems to be like quite a few ladders that lead up the side of this huge ship. It's all cordoned off. There's some signs on there saying things like keep out, that kind of stuff, as you draw closer, as Louise sort of bounces along the beach and leads you towards this absolutely monolithic cruise ship. And she sort of turns to you and goes, it's completely abandoned.
Looks like a fucking death trap. I'm in.
Whoa. Like, rad. And I just like start taking video. Like, okay, like Louise, like I didn't believe in you because like you've done some really shitty scouting lately, but like this wipes out like all of that. You are officially the coolest location scout on the team. Like, whoa.
She's kind of like, she's obviously not quite sure what to make of the praise from Kai. She's kind of like pleased that there's praise, but also it's Kai.
Backhanded compliments.
Oh my gosh, there has to be a bar inside. This is going to be glorious.
There is a bar, Dylan. There is a massive bar. Do you know, this is like a top-tier liner. I can't believe no one's like done anything with this before.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Is there a name on the side?
Scaffolding and ladders and stuff, but like I'm guessing that's been there for ages. It's kind of like half rotted. We'll have to maybe replace some of that before we can actually get everyone onto it, but Kai, you asked for a name, didn't you?
Yeah.
There is a name. It says on the side the USS Sea Dream.
Can I Google that? Because I want to get some background on this. Like, because if we can entice people in, maybe it's cursed or haunted, or maybe it just mysteriously disappeared and now we found it and we're going to have the coolest rave ever in this like English Bermuda Triangle. So I'm going to Google the ship and see what I can come up with.
Sure. So you give me 2 dice. So your occupation dice as a social influencer, and your human dice for somebody who knows how to use Google.
Very good at like researching things. That's a 5 on my occupation and a 3 on my human.
Cool. Yeah, you kind of have a quick Google for Sea Dream. It seems to be quite a big brand of yacht, like a cruise ship yacht. Basically, it is a 6-deck ship. when it comes to the ship itself, just closed the layout because of course they did. No, come back. There we go. It's got restaurants, it's got a bar, it's got a golf simulator, it's got a sun deck, a casino, a salon, jacuzzis, a pool. It's got a dining room, it's got suites. It's very much a yacht club, big cruise ship. It's very classy. About 3 years ago, there was a USS Sea Dream that went missing. The entire crew and all of the passengers were never accounted for. It was over about 1,000 people, sort of like 900 passengers and about 100 crew. And it's just kind of like nobody knew what happened to it. There was a lot of conspiracy theories about the Bermuda Triangle or Krakens, or it ended up in Atlantis. It kind of, all of these different theories came up. There's no mention of Tottenham on sea anywhere when you Google it. There's no mention of a cruise ship being found in England, beached. There's no mention of like anything about it being here at all. And this is a big ship. You would think that this would be quite easily spotted by Coast Guard, by the police, by the residents of Tottenham. But there's not really anything to suggest that it's ever been found. But this isn't a particularly hidden cove. It's not well known, but it's not hidden.
Like, y'all, this like disappeared like a while ago, like maybe in like the Bermuda Triangle or something. So we could do like some really cool, like spooky atmosphere kind of thing. Like, where's Robin? Like, she could do some really cool atmospheric, like spooky lights. It's going to be amazing. We could put Krakens up and oh my God.
Louise is going to point up to the lights that are on one of the decks, and she's going to go, Robin went in just to double check that the flooring was okay. She went in with a harness and some rope just to make sure, obviously. We didn't want to bring you guys here if you couldn't actually go in. But it looks pretty much intact. Robin even managed to get some of the electrics working again, which, considering it's been here for God knows how long, like, that was pretty impressive. So she's just set up, basically she's gone to where the kind of grand ballroom, so to speak, is. So we thought that, you could go up and meet her. I'll keep an eye on the van and on the stuff, because obviously, I don't know if you've noticed, she kind of thumbs to a sign next to her that says keep out, and there's a bit of legal jargon underneath. I think I should probably keep watch.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. One question. So since this went missing and everything, what about the passengers? Is there any like bodies inside or anything like that? I hate to be morbid, but
I mean, God no. I mean, we went up onto the deck and it was empty. We went into like the ballroom and the kitchen, and no, there's nothing there. So, I mean, we haven't explored the rest of the ship. I'm not gonna lie. We only really looked around to make sure the main bit was okay. We weren't really thinking we'd use most of it. If you guys want to have a look around, by all means. I mean, but I didn't see anybody, and you'd think, like, I don't know, like after this long, would there be anybody? I mean,
well, we'll take a look. I mean, we don't want people stumbling across dead bodies in any way. I mean, if it's been there for that long, I mean, God knows what sea life has crawled in there that we're going to have to clear out. I mean, that thing's probably got a worse case of crabs than Kai has.
Like that is, I'm pretty sure that's like
her brother, and then she's gonna very slowly hold out her fist. Like
it's like, well, I could like sue you for everything bump. You have, except like you don't have anything.
Well, the rats have probably eaten the bodies by now.
Question for the keeper, real quick.
You really think the ship sat here and nobody found it? Most likely, everybody in the town and the police know about it. They don't want to panic anyone, so they've just, cleaned up all the bodies and left it here. It's just, it's a bit tricky to get an entire boat out of a cliffside.
What is it?
Question for the keeper, right quick. Yeah. Because I've been like taking pictures and uploading them and things. Does the GPS that auto tags where I am when I upload pictures, is that working? Like, is that actually showing where I am, or is it funking out the way our GPS on the way here did?
Yeah. When you go onto Google Maps and you flick through and you have a look, your location is back at the petrol station.
Like, there's something like really weird going on here, guys. Like GPS is not working. It must be spooky. We're gonna get our spook on.
Alternatively, it's a black spot.
Nah, it's gotta be ghosts or something. Like the whole crew just like disappeared and no one's seen this ship and like GPS doesn't work. We're in like some kind of dead zone.
It's Devon. The whole place is one big fucking dead zone.
Yeah, we're out in the middle of nowhere, Kai. Settle down.
Wait, have you posted any of these things? Like, have you gotten any like hits on it?
Mm-hmm.
Many of your followers?
Pull up some of the pictures I've been posting. Do I see any comments or anything more than the normal likes or people engaging with it?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of look at the Instagram posts and stuff, and you're not really seeing any likes or any comments. It's like no one
what else
cares.
is new?
Like, I think like it's not actually uploading. So like if this is a dead zone, like it'll just all upload at once and my followers will get all the content at once, and won't they be lucky?
Can we stop calling it a dead zone?
Why do you have to be so uncool?
You kind of are surveying the boat in general and sort of having a look up at the windows and stuff. Can you roll your human die?
Is that all of us? Sorry.
Just Dylan.
Just right.
Two.
Inside. Push it.
You kind of are looking up at the boat, and you're looking kind of in the windows, and you can see sort of a shadow moving across where the lights are, where kind of you think maybe Robin would be kind of moving around in the grand ballroom, and maybe she moved past a window. But then your eyes kind of drift down, and you think you see like a dark shape, like a shadow, move across the deck and then open a door and slip inside.
Separate from the other shadow.
Yeah.
And is this a human-sized shape? Would I know that?
Roughly human size, yeah. Looks a bit like it was hunkering.
Okay. There's someone else up there, and I turn to everybody and say that. There's two people. Robin and someone else, it looks like.
Haunted.
Louise? Are you sure you're not just seeing shadows, Dylan?
No. I definitely saw something. There's something on the deck. It went in that door. And I point to the general vicinity of where I saw it.
I mean, we double checked. There was nobody around.
Well, you have been in the car park for a while. Someone else might have come along. I suppose we better check just to see if Robin's okay.
I'll head back to the car. Louise kind of looks a bit uncomfortable. I will keep the engine running, just in case you guys need to leg it back here.
What's wrong, Louise?
Okay.
Lame.
You seem out of sorts a little bit.
Well,
you were so excited 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, then you just told me there might be somebody up there with Robin.
Yeah, isn't that your best friend?
Right.
Well, yeah.
But while they're having this conversation, I'm going straight for the boat.
You're very fickle, Louise.
To be honest, DJ, it kind of creeped me out a bit. The whole place. I mean, don't get me wrong, the potential is amazing, but it also is really kind of creepy.
Yeah, we just need to put a mirror ball in there. His rave knowledge is dated. Yeah, what did it smell like on there? Did it smell like decay, or it was fine?
It smelled like fish in the sea. Fish, salt, that kind of thing.
Okay, that seems right. Well, let's go get Robin and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Louise turns away and she sort of heads back up the beach in the darkness. She's got her flashlight out. You just see her flashlight kind of disappearing off towards the cliffs. And you kind of all turn your attention to this scaffold and these ladders that just go up this sort of huge monolithic side of the ship, and Clinton's already started
up.
climbing.
Yeah.
And we're going to pause there before you get into the ship.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick 10-minute break. When we left our group, they were scaling the scaffolding of a abandoned cruise ship that they are hoping to use for a festival location or rave. So, Clinton, you've gone first. You've started going up these steps towards kind of the top of the deck. As you're kind of going up, the ladders, although the scaffolding itself looks like it's been here for years, the ladders look relatively new. And as you're kind of going up, your hand sort of reaches on, and as you're kind of going up the rungs, you start realizing that you've got some kind of like, it's kind of like not a goo, that's not quite right, but it's almost like some kind of sort of wet substance is on your hands. And when you kind of reach the top, you end up on the deck, and before you there's this great empty swimming pool, which has got seaweed and kind of rust and kind of gunk kind of in the bottom of it, where it looks like it's obviously been rained on and kind of filled up with rainwater and then drained again, and it just looks like a bit of a swamp in there. And as you kind of look down at your hands, you've got this really fishy smelling just gunk all over your hands, and it's really just kind of very gross. It makes your skin crawl. So roll your sanity. And guys, as you guys are going up, Clinton's taken most of this off with him up the ladder, but you all kind of ascend up in the darkness towards the top of the deck. Do any of you have a fear of heights?
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Nope.
I don't go up at all. That's disappointing.
It's just Scott, isn't it? Or do we all have to roll sanity?
I would say just Scott on this case, because he's got the most of it on his hands.
Okay.
And it's
It
really
seems like he's taking it up intentionally.
Yeah. Yeah, my insight is now 4.
Is this like that garum stuff you were talking about, Dylan?
So you are on the deck with the swimming pool. So you're on deck 3. So it's kind of like when you count the windows, you've kind of gone 3 up, essentially. There are sunbeds here that are completely destroyed or completely missing massive gaps. There's just a couple that are kind of like broken up and kind of thrown around. And it's very, very dark up here because the sun has now set. And you all will need your flashlights to be able to really see much, because it's a very cloudy evening. It's quite cold, and you can hear kind of the waves hitting as the tide starts coming in. And you kind of can see in front of you that there's sort of 2 double doors. There's a big sign saying sort of like Sea Dream, and it's like, Sea Dream, and it sort of says casino in letters and that kind of thing. The lights that are on are on the deck above.
Okay, well, I'll throw open one of the doors, shine my torch in there, and just shout, "Oi, Robin, stop fucking around!"
Your torchlight stretches out into what you can see. Sorry, I need to zoom in on my picture because I can't actually see what it says. It's like a kind of like an open sort of lounge area. There's all of these seats arranged around tables. It looks like somewhere where guests would sort of come in. There's a reception desk as well where people kind of check in and can talk to guest services or request more pillows or anything like that. And there's also like an old massive aquarium set into the wall filled with just the murkiest water. And your light kind of just highlights sort of all these rooms with great dark shadows. The floor is very slick with that similar kind of slime type texture that you got on your hands. And you can see sort of on the ground, it's kind of mixed in with a bit of dust as well, which is really quite grim. And you just hear it.
Okay. Robin.
Yeah, I think DJ.
If I Googled this, can I pull up a deck map? Because cruise ship websites would usually have them, so I could figure out where we are and figure out where we saw Robin at the window or whatever.
Yep. Let me link you the deck map that I have.
No pressure, Kat, but you could share your screen too if you'd like.
Excuse me.
Sorry, that was about screen sharing. You're like, no, thank you.
She's allergic to screen sharing.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not the best picture on the planet. It's very small.
Okay,
no problem.
So where are we?
So you are currently by the swimming pool. So you're on deck 3. And you're shining your light into sort of 12, the main salon, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Where you saw the light was kind of 8, which is the kind of the casino area, so to speak, along with kind of the piano bar type thing. So very much deck 4, so one above you.
So, like, if we go upstairs, we'll, like, find Robin and Dylan. There's a bar up there.
Ooh, yes, that's where I'm heading. But I'm trying to figure out where did I see that person go in? Would that be on this deck that we're on?
That's on the one below you.
Got you. Okay.
Maybe they're Batman.
Kai.
Well, obviously we should split up. We'll cover more ground that way.
That sounds safe. Let's do it.
Good idea.
Run away. No.
Run back to the van. Drive the fuck out of here.
And so, just to get our bearings again, so we're kind of at the back, like near that ledge.
Yeah,
okay,
back
cool.
near where the swimming pool is. You've just entered through the doors into kind of like a main salon where there's like various seats and kind of tables and stuff.
Okay.
DJ is against my better judgment. DJ's going to put his face up to that murky aquarium to see if he can find any dead fish in there to try to freak Kai out.
Yeah. You kind of stare into this murky water. And it's kind of like a lot of sediment and bits of seaweed and kind of like it's very dark. And this is a huge aquarium. It's like the size of the wall. It's obviously was meant to be like the main big decoration. And you're kind of gazing into this dark, murky, bleak water, and it's all swirling kind of around in front of you. And then from behind you in the dark, you just hear this really strange noise, and it's sort of a bit of a weird clicking. It kind of goes like...
Scott's face of excitement while I was looking into the aquarium was just ridiculous. I think with the clicking, I'm going to turn around to see if there's a clock on the wall that might be working.
Yeah. In the darkness, guys, you see a chair shift ever so slightly to the right, and then you just hear this very long...
Oh, well, I'm going straight over to try to find out what that is. I'll get my torch out and scurry over there.
As you sort of step back, whilst watching sort of them advance towards this weird little chair movement, you feel some dripping on your shoulder.
Okay. I'm gonna feel that, like, kind of try to take a look, see what...
Yeah.
Look up.
As you're kind of looking at your other shoulder, there seems to be some water droplets just down there, and then you feel something kind of pluck your other shoulder.
Ooh, fast turn to the other shoulder then.
Yeah. There's nothing there, but you do have a wet handprint on your t-shirt.
Clinton?
Oh no!
But they're not close to me. None of them.
Clinton's in front of you.
Dylan, Kai, and Kai are all heading towards this seat with their torches sort of on it.
Okay. Robin?
And recording.
Robin, this isn't funny. We got to get the lights set up for the party.
Yeah, Cup, you kind of look around and you look back at the aquarium and you can't see anything. I mean, the aquarium's very tall, and when you look up, it doesn't seem to have a lid or anything. It just seems to be kind of one of these open-topped aquariums. Okay. Roll your sanity dice. Clinton, you edge towards this.
I'm not edging. I'm going.
Oh, you're going full pelt for it.
Oh, God. He never edges. It's very disappointing for his girlfriends.
Yeah. So do you just push this chair aside?
Jesus Christ. So I didn't go up in insanity. Is that right? Or insight?
Yeah, you're okay. You're perturbed, but you're thinking maybe it's the darkness playing tricks on you.
Yeah, or Robin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going straight up to the chair. I'm just kicking it over.
Yep. You kind of kick this chair over, and then suddenly this thing just lunges at you, and you just hear a meow as this really fat, hairy cat just kind of launches itself at your leg and tries to sink its claws in. Obviously, quite distressed that you have moved away its hiding spot, and it kind of tries to scratch up your leg.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will jump back, shouting and swearing and telling it to keep away from my bollocks.
Hey, Clinton got some pussy for the first time in a year.
That was Chaos's cue, by the way. Where are they at?
She is fast asleep here at the moment, rather than sinking her claws into me. I'm afraid to wake her up.
Cup, you hear a above you.
Oh, these fucking cats are everywhere. Jesus. I'm looking up, just trying to identify the source of that sound.
As you look up, there are two kind of hands reaching over the top of the aquarium.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And they kind of sink back in when they realize that you're looking.
Dylan.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Can I look into? Oh yeah, can I look into the aquarium to see if I can see any sort of big figures or anything?
Yeah, I'm just pointing at the aquarium when I call Dylan over.
Yeah, with the torch.
Yeah. You shine your torch at kind of the aquarium. It's very much this kind of murky, swirling water, and you sort of stare at it. The cat that tried to attack Clinton has detached itself and sort of scarpered off into the bowels of the ship. And kind of as you're looking at this aquarium and this sort of water is swirling, you kind of see something move in the back of it, like it's moving the sediment, and it's quite big.
Oh, DJ, back up. We gotta get away from this. There's something in there, and it's huge. It's like I don't know.
It's a person. I saw its hands. They looked human, right, Kat? The hands.
Yeah.
That I saw. Okay. There's a person in there. Robin? Why would Robin be swimming in the fucking aquarium? I don't know. Let's get the fuck out of here. This is.
Yeah.
Clinton,
maybe they'll stay down.
Can you roll me a human die because the cat attacked you?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You roll those every day, don't you, Scott?
Yep.
For cat attacks.
I have the scars to prove it.
Ooh.
Okay. Where the cat scratched up your leg, it's really itchy. It doesn't feel good. It did claw you, so it's probably just where its claws got through the fabric, and it's a mangy cat. So, but yeah, your leg's feeling pretty itchy.
Yeah, I'll hop around for a bit and just let the blood run down the inside of my trousers and take a look at what all the fuss is about with this fish tank.
Mm-hmm.
I turn my phone around when I hear all the commotion so that I'm capturing video, and I stage whisper, "Something is rotten in the state of England." And then I look at everybody else and what? I read.
Yeah, Kai.
Let's face
Great
it, you
one.
picked that up from a cartoon, didn't you?
You hear a voice shouting down the pitch black corridor, and it sounds like Robin. And she's sort of, it's not really shouting, actually. It sounds like kind of like she's singing something.
Okay. Well, let's get out of this area. Let's go find Robin. You hear that? You hear her,
Yeah.
right? You do hear Robin?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, Rob, and I kind of yell out, to let her know. It's us. What's going on in here?
Robin, stop auditioning for Britain's Got Talent and get in here. The tape isn't going to work anyway. You're off pitch.
You can kind of hear this voice, and it sounds like Robin. It's coming from one of the like service corridors that leads from sort of the lounge to the kind of the suites. And there's sort of like, that's where an elevator would be, and kind of like stairs leading upwards. And you can just hear this very soft, beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. But it doesn't sound quite right. It sounds very, well, it sounds a little bit kind of disjointed, and it almost sounds like a couple of people are singing it, not just Robin, but hers is the primary voice.
I bet it's Batman. I told you Batman was here. Wherever there's a Robin, there's a Batman. And I'm going down the hallway.
I slammed my hand into my face so hard that I knocked myself out onto the ground.
Oh, that is going to make a great GIF. Oh, hell yes.
Kai,
Yas queen.
I bet she's just got her phone up and she's doing one of those sea shanty memes.
TikToks? You mean
Yeah, TikToks, whatever.
Those are great.
Are we just going to move past the fact that she called it a GIF and not a GIF? Are we just going to ignore this crime?
We don't have enough time, Scott. We can't hash that out.
That was in character.
Are you guys moving down the corridor towards the voice?
Yes.
I'm not. I'm still busy with the fish tank.
Dylan is.
Who's going through the corridor and who's staying with the fish tank?
Kai is going down the corridor.
Dylan as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Can I roll sand on the hands out of the fish tank? Is that
Yeah,
a
you
separate
should,
sand
yeah.
roll? Okay. It felt like I needed to.
What about me for the shape in the back?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, you should probably roll for that too. Definitely.
Okay.
Thank you for keeping track of your own sanity, guys, because I'm terrible with that sometimes.
Oh, so you're gonna go up.
Cool.
Yes.
So we'll start with Dylan, Kai, and
3.
Jay.
Yeah.
You sort of start moving through this service corridor towards the suites, and your torches sort of you're sort of swinging them from side to side and kind of highlighting the windows and highlighting sort of some of the posters. So everything is covered in kind of dust. Something that you do notice is as you get further into the ship, this sort of the slimy texture is kind of growing on the walls, and it's almost forming this kind of almost jelly-like sort of almost paste over the top of the wallpaper and on kind of piping and that kind of thing. And as you sort of start going in, you pass by the elevator, and the elevator is actually halfway, well, not halfway, about 2/3 down, and the doors are open. And Robin's voice is still singing, and you can just make out an open door in front of you. The elevator's to your side of this suite, and you can see a shadow move beyond the door. Can you all roll San?
No. Uh-oh.
What if I equal it?
If you equal it, then you don't go up.
God damn it.
Oh, my last 2 have been low. I think London, you're going up again, right?
Yes, I'm at 4 now.
So, Dylan, as you're passing the
tie.
elevator, a hand just shoots out from between the open door, the blackness, and grabs you, and it holds onto your ankle so tight, and it sort of shakes, and you just hear Robin's voice coming out of the elevator going, Dylan, oh my god, please, Dylan, oh my god, please, open the doors, I can't get through.
Robin, and so this is coming out of an open elevator?
So the elevator doors are only ever so slightly open.
Right, and the hand's out of there.
The elevator's like halfway down, so it's almost like the elevator is stuck and there's just this little gap and her hands just come through to grab you.
Well, okay, yeah, so first off, I'm like, shit! Okay, and then I go to the door. I'm like, hey, Robin, I'll help you. And I'm going to try to pry that open with all the force that I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll shine my flashlight when I see that he's doing this, trying to give him some light.
Do we hear the voice, or is it just him?
It's you guys hear it as well. You see Robin's hand, and when you shine the flashlight, DJ, you do see that it is Robin's face, and she's kind of looking through. And the grip that she's got on Dylan is she's obviously terrified. She's been pretty terrified the whole time. But the singing is still coming from the suites, and it's still Robin's voice. Clinton, and you're staying by the fish tank.
Yeah, there's clearly something that freaked the others out here, and I'm interested in what it is.
Yeah. So you're kind of looking at this fish tank and the sediment. It's all swirling and stuff, and then you hear that clicking noise again, and it's coming from behind you again, not where the cat was, but a little further into the darkness.
I'm going to assume it's just the cat again, though.
Yep. And you kind of keep staring at this swirling, and then that clicking, it gets a little bit louder behind you.
Shut up, cat, I'll say while tapping on the glass.
Yep. You feel kind of two hands sort of slide up your back and over your shoulders. And they're it's quite a caress.
Okay. Robin, I'll say, and turn around.
When you turn around, you do see a young woman. She's very much drenched in water, and her eyes are a little bit too large for her head. They're quite wide and rounded looking. She's also got two very long lines along her cheekbones, and like they go up to her ears, which seem to be quite pointed. Her hair is very long and dank and almost like seaweed down her body. She is completely naked, and she is looking at you with like a tilted head, and she just sort of smiles slightly, and she makes that clicking noise again, and she kind of starts pushing you against the tank, just very gently, in kind of this very slow and sensual way, as if to sort of say, "Hello, sailor."
Are we in the life ring?
He's a Clinton. Be careful.
Blimey, love, that's a bit forward. I don't even know your name yet.
She kind of looks at you, and she kind of looks into your eyes, and you roll your human die. Excuse me.
Okay. That would be a 5.
She looks hungry. She's not smiling at you because she likes the look of you. She likes the look of you for a different reason. You kind of see it in her eyes. She's really hungry, and the grip that she's got on your shoulders has tightened, and she started to push her body up against yours, but it's quite a forceful feeling. She wants to pin you against that glass tank, and she kind of starts to smile wider and wider, and that slit in her cheeks just starts to extend, and like the teeth of a lamprey, her mouth just becomes this ever widening oval, and she kind of leans in, and then she frowns and she sniffs you, and she kind of draws back, and she kind of looks down your body, and she kind of sniffs again, and then she kind of looks at you and she goes, and then she just starts to move back into the darkness.
Story of my life. I think I should probably make a sand roll at this.
Yes,
stage.
absolutely.
You know, Clinton was rolling around in fish earlier, so.
Fucking hell. Yeah, okay.
right, you're up to
I'm
5,
now
huh?
up to 5. Yep. and I think then, as it is now in my interest to destroy stuff that is pertinent to the investigation. I'm going to start looking for something big and heavy I can use to smash up this fish tank.
Yeah. We'll come back to you in a second.
Yeah.
Dylan, Kai, DJ, Robin is trying to grab your leg, but there's also singing coming from the suite that sounds like Robin's voice.
Like, Robin, were you like having a party in there by yourself?
No, don't trust it. Don't trust it. Do not trust that. Please get me out. Get me out. We need to get out of here now. Please don't leave me in here.
I don't know what to do. So I'm just going to just double down on opening it up.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you want to roll
Get lower,
human
Dylan,
die?
and then I'll try to open from the top while Dylan's kind of a little bit lower on the elevator.
Yeah. If you both roll your human die, we'll see what you guys get.
Okay.
Kai, can you roll your human die as well?
Ooh, good.
Okay.
I think it'd be interesting if they failed, so I'll roll against them.
Oh, fuck you. All right. Well, we both
I got
beat
a
you.
3.
Oh, no. Wait, whose was that?
3 is mine.
Oh,
Okay.
Y'all-
I got a 1.
Y'all had a 5 and a 4.
Got it.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so between you, Dylan and DJ, you start to pry this door open, and Robin just scrambles. She just tries to scramble as much as possible, and she almost like throws herself as soon as the gap widens enough that she can to try and get through, and she kind of like uses your legs to scramble her way up onto the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
And as she's doing that, you realise that she looks like she's got some kind of rip all down her arm. And she's also got a tear in her side as well. It looks like they were bleeding, but they've now stopped. She's also wrapped one up with like a bandage as fast as as quickly as possible. And she's just trying to get out of this elevator as quickly as possible. Kai, you're kind of watching this. This is all a little bit much. It's all a bit busy. You know, obviously the guys, they're trying to open the doors. Robin's panicking. There's this, you know, she looks really injured. So you don't really notice when the door across the hallway just sort of opens and there's somebody standing in like as a silhouette just watching you, but their head tilted to the side.
Like,
Hi,
is this
call
an episode?
999.
Is this an episode of like Doctor Who or something? This is like so weird. Are we on a movie set or like? Oh no, sorry, film set. I think that's what they call it here. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna try to call. What is it? 999. I can never remember what the emergency number is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, fucking Brits.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to call 999.
Yeah. Dylan and DJ, Robin finally kind of pulls herself up and she kind of puts her hands on kind of Dylan's shoulders and she's just shaking and she kind of looks behind Dylan and then she just screams as this kind of figure is in this doorway and it kind of starts sort of moving towards you just very slowly and it's walking quite essentially like its hips are swinging and it's quite clearly kind of moving in this kind of very languid kind of way and from the silhouette you can hear Robin's voice is kind of singing this kind of song and it's just very ethereal and strange. Kai, as you're ringing the phone just starts beeping like you've got no signal.
Lame. No signal.
Kai,
I'm gonna turn around when I hear the screaming.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, is this like Westworld or something? Did you like build a robot of yourself, Robin? Like,
Guy doesn't give a fuck.
Can you all roll sanity as this thing kind of moves into the light? It kind of looks like Robin, but not really. It's kind of like it almost looks like it's made out of that kind of same jelly substance that's sort of decorating the walls, and it's sort of half formed, but it's not quite there yet. It's almost like it's still trying to kind of take a shape.
We weren't affected by that. I think we all
I was.
Oh, did you go up?
Yes, because I was on 2 and I rolled a 3.
Oh, I already had you
Finally.
at 3. I was anticipating, I guess.
Might as well just put it on 6 now.
Dylan, out. Let's take Robin, get out of here. Oh, you're
Wait.
muted, London.
I'm like, what is the quickest unobstructed way to get out of here that we could see?
Probably the way back, the way that you came.
Okay.
However, Clinton, you find a fire hose, and it's got one of those axes in, and also a fire extinguisher.
Perfect.
Fire hose, how appropriate.
Yeah, I'll go for the axe.
So I'm guessing you pick up the axe and
Oh yeah.
yeah. Are you gonna just
And
go for the
start-
aquarium?
Yeah. Yep. Go to town on the glass.
Cool. Can you give me a human die? And also you're a thrill seeker, so you've probably done a lot of stuff involving like
yeah.
adrenaline and all that kind of stuff. So you feel free to use your occupation die if you like.
Thrill seeker. I think
Fantastic.
he's a miscreant. Yeah.
Okay. So first die is a 2. My occupation die is
Oh.
also a 2. I don't think that's going to be good enough, so I'm going to re-roll.
Oh God.
Because that's what you do when you're on 5 SAN. You re-roll.
exactly.
So my first die is
Push the roll.
there. Yeah. So my third die is going to be the inside die. So my first die is my human die. That is a 5. My second die is my occupation die 2, and now it's inside die time.
6.
And of course, it's
Oh!
a +6.
Yes. Goodbye, Scott.
Amazing.
Okay, so you raise this axe. Clinton raises this axe and kind of looks into the aquarium, and then looks into the aquarium and into the abyss before him. The sediment of swirling kind of muck and seaweed and dirt, and that your leg really starts to itch, and you kind of feel, your fingers, and then you start thinking about how beautiful this woman was that came and kind of pressed herself against you, and you kind of think about her teeth, and you think about how her body felt against yours, and then you kind of start thinking that she looked so hungry, and then you're thinking, well, she was beautiful and hungry, and you're hungry. You're just so hungry, and maybe she would be better if you fed her. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, she was gorgeous. She was stunning. She had an aura. You just can't describe it. It's almost driving you insane. And as you kind of stare into this water, you just see this shape kind of move in the gloom, and this kind of ethereal woman just comes up with a webbed hand and kind of puts it against the glass. And she kind of opens her toothed mouth really wide and then closes it again. And she disappears back into the darkness. And all you can think is, you're so hungry and you want to feed her. And you've got an axe.
Yeah.
And there are other people.
Exactly. I'm just going to point to the class and say, "Oh, that thought, love. I know where I can get us a little snack." And I'll turn
So
and
it's-
start moving in the direction of the voices.
Clinton's going to get his shape of water moment. Is that what we're saying?
Is his insight 6? Is that right? Because of that roll?
Yes, so technically Clinton has retired and is now completely insane. I will give Scott more direction, but Scott is now essentially a agent of this Lovecraftian creature. So
Understood.
treat Scott like you would a creature of the mythos.
Okay.
And he's
Which
between
is
you
usually
and
good
the exit.
advice.
But we don't know that yet, right? So
Yeah.
once he reveals himself.
So just to remind you of the corridor that you're in, you've got stairs, the elevator. Behind you is a door to the suites where a female kind of jellyfish type figure is moving towards you, but not very well. It's almost like she's not quite formed and hasn't quite got this ability to move down yet. Robin is terrified in the middle of you, holding on to Dylan like, oh, Jesus. And Clinton has now turned towards you with an axe. But obviously you...
Oh, Clinton,
okay,
Clinton,
hey, yes.
good. Thank God.
Yes.
There's something back there. Take your axe over there. Take care of this. Hold her off. Oh, you're muted because you're insane.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll be right there, I'll say, and start walking towards him, swinging the axe backwards and forwards and whistling a jaunty tune.
Robin, okay.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay.
Clinton has a weapon. He'll protect you. So I just kind of twirl Robin at Clinton.
Yes.
Robin kind of looks at Clinton, is like, oh my God, Clinton, oh my God, Clinton, oh my God, Clinton, what's happened to your mouth?
You know the bit on the back of a fire axe where it's the kind of sharp point that's designed for breaking glass. I'm going to turn the back around so that it's that, and then my goal is to bring that down on Robin's head, and when it's jammed through her skull, use it to drag her towards the tank.
Yep. So guys, you're watching as Clinton raises this axe back and just slams it into Robin's head. There is a crack that just resounds throughout the hallway. It is and a bit of a squelch too. It's kind of like, and you just see Robin, her eyes go, and she just goes, and you just see blood come from her nose and trickle down her forehead. As she kind of stands up, she loses all motor function, but there is an axe in her head, so she's kind of twitching a bit because it's obviously hit all of her nerves. And Clinton just drags her. She stumbles through the corridor and lands on the ground by the tank in the other room. And then you just see the glass explode out and all this water just smothers this poor twitching woman's body as this creature just crawls its way over, and you hear a crunch as its mouth opens wide and sucks down onto the back of her head where the blood was and starts sucking up what was inside her skull. And it looks like a woman, kind of fishy and webbed and skinny and naked, and she kind of draws her lamprey mouth back and turns her head to look at you and just screams.
Sanity roll.
Sanity roll.
Clinton, I meant the other one. Robin was human. She's normal.
What?
The fuck?
Okay, so I'm up to 4 now.
I went up 2. I am at now 5.
Nice one. All right, I need to roll here.
Join us.
Oh, I just can't roll high on these now.
Like,
All right,
Dylan,
fine.
like, why did you, help that weirdo murder that girl? Oh my God.
I didn't. He had a weapon. I thought that
You gave her to the axe murderer.
I did not give her to the expert.
Is in front of you, and he's obviously just fed this creature. The other creature behind you is getting closer. Clinton shakes the axe clean of blood and turns his sights on you. And the only thing between you and him now, and the thing behind you, is the staircase. I mean, you could try the elevator, but you saw how that worked out for Robin.
Stairs.
Staircase,
Yes.
Are you going up or down?
I'm thinking get as low as we can, so that easier to get off.
Mm-hmm.
But then aren't we trapped? Maybe there's some kind of exit there. I don't know. I'll just follow them. I'm very upset in real life and in the game right now.
I am recording this whole thing much shakier than I would like to, but I'm and we are running from an axe murderer right now. I hold up the phone in case it can catch a glimpse of Clinton, and
Yeah.
You would not believe.
You guys leg it upstairs. Do you go to the deck above, or do you go to the very top? Or
wait, down. We went down, right?
You're on deck 3. Above you is deck 4, deck 5, and deck 6. Deck 6 is the top of the deck where the crow's nest is, and at the very top of the yacht. Deck 5 is the restaurant and where the controls are, the bridge, so to speak. And deck 4, that's kind of where the casino and the spa is, and it's got the balcony that hangs over the swimming pool outside.
Y'all were going down, weren't
Oh.
you? Didn't you want to go down? Or no? Did I get that wrong?
I was trying to figure out just the
if
best
you're
way
going
to
down,
get off.
you've got the all of the kind of like bedrooms and kind of rooms that you kind of go in. You've got the dining room, that kind of thing, and you've got the engine room and stuff like that. You do have a back section if you go downstairs where you can essentially walk off the back of the ship.
Ooh, yeah.
To go swimming. However, it is the coast of the sea in a very rough English coastal town. So getting
Take our
off
chances.
in the darkness into the ocean that way. So basically you can go up and you can try your odds up, or you can go down, but you don't have long to decide because you are between two killers.
While they're deciding, because I'm kind of following them, I'm going to try to rip Kai's phone out of her hand so that she'll go faster. Because she's very distracted.
Nice.
DJ, like, how are we ever going to make a found footage movie when we get out of this if I don't have the found footage?
Did you fucking see what happened? Give me your fucking phone. We need to run.
If we got to get out of here.
Does not have high intelligence.
Okay, I forgot which way the ship was oriented, so maybe up will be our best option to try to get to the like rocks and the coast itself.
So the back of the ship is pointing towards the sea. The front of the ship has embedded itself into the rock.
Gotcha.
The back of the ship is where the staircase is on the back, where you can like jump off and go swimming and stuff.
Yeah, higher ground. If we can find a weapon, we can kind of keep them down if they're coming up the stairs. I like that, Dylan. Let's go.
Yeah, sounds good.
You guys start running up the stairs. Something that you notice as you're running, even though you're in a panic, is that this kind of slimy casing, which was on that corridor that you were in, seems to get thicker and thicker the further that you go up. It's also very damp in here. You keep running. So do you stop on deck 5, which is the one where the balcony looks over the swimming pool and you've got the restaurant, or do you stop on deck 6, which is kind of like the very, very top, or do you stop on deck 5, which is like the casino and stuff? How many decks do you decide to run?
I'm going to go all the way up to the top.
Yep.
Yeah, where are the lifeboats? Can we like?
The lifeboats are on deck 3.
Oh fuck! I'm like Billy Zane in Titanic, just trying to get my ass off the boat, like pushing everybody down.
Yeah. Clinton, obviously, I'm guessing you're following.
I'm following up the stairs, just banging the blade of the axe off the rungs of the stairwell, just shouting up, "Where are you going? It's supper time!"
You guys run into to the very top of the deck, and you end up kind of out on this clear deck that stretches out in front of you. There's a crow's nest where you can enter through a door, and you could, go up and sort of sit in the tower and have a look out. It's pitch black. You can see kind of like, it's very cloudy sky. You can see water. The tide has come up, and the scaffolding that you used to kind of get onto the boat has been partly submerged. You don't know how deep it is. You wouldn't be able to tell. But you are on the very, very top of the ship. And it's quite a long way down, drop to the side. While you're up here, there's things like broken sort of lounge chairs, that sort of thing. There is a golf simulator. So there are some golf clubs up here and golf balls. They are very rusty and very old. Some of them are bent. Some of them are entirely lost. It doesn't look like it's particularly occupied up here. It doesn't look like anybody's really come up here. But there is nowhere really to go from here unless you want to try and climb down the side to the balcony below. Or if you want to try and climb onto the rocks of the cliff. But it's dark, it's wet, and they are not particularly stable.
I'll grab a 3-iron before we decide what to do. And then I think we got to climb down, right? We gotta climb down.
That seems
Fine.
safest.
I
We
put
can
my
climb
phone
the
away.
scaffolding, or no, Kat? Can we climb on the scaffolding?
The scaffolding doesn't go up this high. The scaffolding only goes up to the 3rd deck.
We made bad decisions. That's fine.
Yeah, this is very, very high up.
Okay.
About how much higher than the scaffolding is it?
So you're looking at 1, 2, 3. You're looking at 3 building floors higher.
Oh.
So 3 stories higher.
Okay. Let's kill Clinton with the golf clubs and go back down.
Yes.
Like, just stand at the top of the stairwell and beat the shit out of him with the golf clubs.
I grab one too.
You hear this kind of banging noise as
Do you want to
Clinton-
hear what the special of the day is?
Yeah.
Clinton comes banging the axe up, and he appears in the doorway on the stairs, looking at you in the darkness, with the wind and the rain whipping around all of you. And you can see the lines of his face have split along here. They are red and raw, as if, this is a new infection. He looks very pasty and his eyes just look a little bit too large. And when he speaks, he's a little bit more lyrical when he speaks. Like, there's a bit more of a sing-song to it.
Yeah. I hold the axe up and say, today's special is chops.
Who are you going for first, Clinton?
I'm having second thoughts. Yeah.
It's got to be Kai. It's got to be.
I would like to point out that Kai is standing behind those two because I specifically said I was filming this. So you can come for me, but you're going to have to get through those boys
I'll make
first.
my way. I'll make my way to you. Then, then, as is tradition, I'll kill Cup.
Wait. Hold on. We didn't get to react to seeing you in the doorway.
No. Yes.
When we see the split mouth, DJ's having second thoughts about attacking, and he's going to try to grab Kai and Dylan both, kind of grab them by the shirt and pull them toward the balcony so they can lower themselves. Because I thought he was just Clinton, like, acting crazy, but now he's obviously some kind of monster. So we gotta go. 3 Iron's not gonna do it. We gotta run for the balcony.
Can you all roll sanity, given that, I don't need to explain.
Motherfucker. I rolled a 1.
Oh, you both rolled one.
Same.
Oh, a 2. Look, we're fine with this. Clinton was
You're all
always
good.
an asshole. So.
Clinton's not the scariest thing you've seen today.
We never liked him anyway.
You said we can try to lower ourselves to the 5th level balcony?
Yep, you can definitely try. What I would say is give me a human die to see if you can scramble down. Okay. I think it would be interesting if you failed. So I'm going to roll against you to see if Clint catches up.
Well, I was about to say if I can take some direct action, I want to pick up a deck chair and drop it on them as they're clambering down.
Well, and they don't have to follow me. I'm trying to lead the way, hoping they'll try to follow me down.
Yeah, I did. Rolled the same.
Cool. What we'll do?
I rolled a 5 that time on my human die.
Oh, got you.
Oh, I rolled in the wrong place. Yes, Scott, if you want to roll your dice, what we'll do is we'll say, because there's 3 of them and they're all trying to get down, and Cup's also trying to help them down, I'll roll the failure dice, and if you roll your dice, and obviously we'll say that there's contested dice there.
Oh,
okay. Well, I got a 6.
Okay, who are you contesting?
Jesus.
Well, as I said, I'm dropping a deck chair on Cup as he's clambering down.
Okay. Let's have a look here.
Not a deck chair. You know one of those heavy bases that they use for golf umbrellas and parasols outside. One of the big plastic things that's filled with sand and weighs a ton.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop one of those on his head as he's climbing down.
Well, we'll go by what's it called? Dice numbers. So London, Dylan, ever so sorry, you got a 2, and I rolled a failure dice and got a 3. So, and also Rina, Kai, you got a 4, and Scott got a 6. Cup, you got the highest. So in this case, we'll say that you kind of are, whilst you're trying to help everybody else, this lounge chair basically comes up and over, and you just see it smack into Dylan and Kai, and it's a huge, big, heavy piece of wood. And as they're trying to get down on this slippery sort of surface, this lounge chair just catches you both smack in the chest, and you have got sorry. Dying. You've got kind of a moment where you just look at Cup, at DJ, where you realise what's happened as this lounge chair just smashes into you both. Your feet slip on the banister that you were trying to lower yourself onto, and you both go crashing down, down, down. But you don't hit the deck. You land in the swimming pool. And it's this kind of big splash. Now it hurts. You've definitely broken something in your bodies, and you kind of both struggle to the surface. We'll bear with you for a second. Cup, you are now faced with Clinton, who's just launched this lounge chair. Somehow you got out the way. Maybe you ducked. I don't know, but Clinton's in front of you, still holding his axe and just advancing.
Somehow I can see how pissed Scott is that didn't kill me. Okay, so can I still try to get down, like being faced with him there?
Yeah, you can try. Scott, again, you can try and take an action.
Actually,
if you like.
I think what I'm going to try to do, this is risky because I could obviously kill myself doing this. I think I'm going to try to dive into the swimming pool after I see the two of them land in there.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
It's a long way. I mean, I could hit my head, but I'm a great swimmer as an engineering student.
Do you want to roll your engineering student die for whether or not you survive diving from this height into a half-filled swimming pool?
Is it half filled? That's a bonus. I'll do just a human die, right? Realistically here. Okay.
I want to see him fail.
While he's doing that,
Go for
I'm
it.
coming down there to help you.
While he's doing that, I want to act in opposition. So basically, at this stage, I want to dart forward as he's pushing himself off, and extend my new inhumanly large jaw and try to wrap it around his head.
How many people can roll against me?
I rolled a 4.
2 people can roll against you.
I'm just chilling. I'm not in there.
London, we have very old grudges here. On this podcast. All right, so I need a 5 or a 6.
You need a 5 or a 6.
It's taking its time. Oh.
You turn to dive. You extend your hands up into a beautiful swan-like motion as you think, yes, I got this. Engineering student brain has told me I can survive this as long as I do this in an elegant fashion. And as you go to launch yourself off of the balcony to dive and sort of save, Dylan and Kai, you look up to see your brother, your friend, about to join you in the pool, and you think, yeah, I mean, you're in pain, so you're like, but you also think, oh yeah, he's gonna get there, and then suddenly these teeth just slam down on his head, and the force of this jaw closing is so strong, it just obliterates it like a melon, and you just see this spray coming from between, like that, kind of those two jaws closing, and his body sort of teeters and then just falls and lands in the water between you with no head. Can you please roll sanity?
Also, bingo.
I assume you're not asking me to roll sanity.
Yes, you too.
Cup, you're now dead, I'm afraid.
No.
Yes, thank you. I
passed
gleaned
again.
that.
Yeah.
Why is this like, how can I not lose sanity from seeing this?
Yeah, I'm your brother. For
Look at
Christ's
how
sake.
nice I am now. I just shared my leftovers with you.
Clinton does lean over the balcony to kind of look down with this horrendously, like, blood dripping from this huge round mouth filled with teeth. And you kind of look up at him, and obviously he's far away now. But then something in the water moves.
In the pool?
in the pool. Something
Out. Swim
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
side.
as quick as possible. Like swimming to get to the edge, the nearest edge.
Roll your human die to see if you can get out of the pool unharmed.
5.
Can I spin a profession roll here, because I have done fashion like shoots in the water with swimming and being elegant in the water. Like that is a very real thing influencers do.
Yeah, go for it.
If you're dead, can you roll against people?
You can roll against people if you're dead, yes.
I want to roll against Rina.
Of course
Okay.
you are. Well, I got a 5.
Give me one. I just need one roll here. Just one time. Roll 20. Give me a 6.
Oh!
You both in panic, splash and struggle, regardless of whatever it is that you may have broken or injured whilst you were in this pool. Your adrenaline carries you through as you drag yourself out of this pool, like up the pool ladder, out of the pool and onto the deck. The rain is beating down on you. You hear a very long and loud as this figure appears in the doorway on the deck from the room where the aquarium was, and the body of Robin has been partially, if not almost entirely, devoured by this point. And the thing that was in there kind of has been drawn by the noise of you crashing into the swimming pool. But luckily there is yourselves, the creature, and the scaffolding that leads down to that pitch black water below.
Down.
Okay, yes. It seems like the only way to get out of here.
Like, Dylan, go down for once in your life. My God.
I was gonna hold it together. I was like, that's good.
We cannot let Kai survive. She will continue to use this character.
Can you, if you're going to try and get down the ladders with your current injuries, and also with the fact that the water is the kind of tide and the water is churning up down there, roll me a human die to see if you kind of get down there and get into the water and onto the beach without kind of any injury. I think it'll be interesting if someone fails, so I'm going to roll against Rina. Oh, I keep rolling in the wrong thing. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, I know I'm rolling right now, but can I also roll against Rina?
Yeah.
Squeeze me?
Welcome to Ain't Slayed Nobody.
Just so London doesn't feel left out, I'll roll against him.
Oh, thank you.
There we go. Can I roll against him? I rolled a 6.
Oh.
Okay.
I got a 6.
We probably should have declared which dice were which first. So just to go in order of where we were. So I rolled against Rina, but I failed with a 3. Dylan, London, that 5 is your attempt to escape.
The 1 is my attempt to escape. And then,
The 1 is your attempt to escape. Clinton, you're rolling against Dylan and you got a 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dylan, you're trying desperately to scramble down this this scaffolding, but you miss the ladder. It's pitch black. Your foot goes through the wood. You're already injured from falling into the swimming pool, and the next thing you know, you just slip and you smack your head against a pipe, and it makes you dizzy, and then you end up going splash into this dark water below, and it's pitch black, and you don't know which way is up, which way is down, and you can just feel these waves dragging you along the side of the ship, and you can feel the rust and all of the kind of the barnacles and whatever has been under there just scraping along your skin, and you're reaching and you're trying to get out, and you're reaching up to try and find the surface, but then when you reach up, your hands they claw into sand and you're upside down and you don't know what's happening, and you choke and you can't, and the next thing you know, the blackness is suddenly cold and inviting, and you kind of sink into it and you lose that ability to breathe, and that's it, you're gone.
Bye, bitch.
boom.
That's what happens when you roll against Rina.
Hashtag RIP.
Rina, you got a 6 and nobody rolled against. I rolled against you but failed. So Rina, you land. You see Dylan being sort of just disappears into this black water. You don't know where Dylan's gone. You kind of do a bit of a leap off of this ladder, and you land in the water, and it comes up to your waist, and you feel like you're about to be drawn and pulled back into the water, but you kind of struggle against it, and you just fight your way onto this beach. I'm guessing you just leg it.
Yep. As far away from the water and away from the town, because now I'm suspicious of what was our colleague's name again?
Louise.
I'm suspicious of Louise because she brought us out here, and fuck that shit. I am out.
So we'll do a little wrap up for Kai. Kai gets back onto the beach, and I'm guessing you run. Do you seek anybody in the town?
Oh no.
Car or
No, Louise is in the car.
yeah.
I'm gonna circle around the town, go back onto the road, and try and find someone I can hitchhike with. I'm hot. Someone will pick me up.
So Kai kind of goes around the town. She ends up walking through most of the night, obviously highly strung about what has happened. And she gets picked up on kind of wandering along an A road, miles and miles from Tottenham, just completely knackered. Probably the biggest, most traumatic thing that has happened to Kai during this entire experience is that her phone was lost in the swimming pool. And nothing was backed up on cloud. So she has no evidence of what happened. And when she starts trying to explain what happened and making claims about a ship, she's not particularly well listened to. A couple of months pass. Kai, do you try to go back?
No.
Nope.
My brother's dead. There's no reason to go back. I'm just hashtag blessed.
Yeah. But your story is forever kind of strung out as a bit of a something happened. This tragedy happened while you were trying to find an illegal rave site. When somebody is sent because your family wants to investigate what happened, the disappearance of DJ, especially, considering, and people want to know what happened to Dylan and Clinton to some extent as well.
Really? Clinton?
They go to Tottenham and they don't find anything really. There's nothing there. And in terms of, at least that's what they say. So.
Somehow this character has survived Scott and Kat now. This is my Ken.
So sadly, just to recap, Clinton went insane and became a siren's thrall. Dylan got drowned and swept away into the cold British Ocean. And Cup had his head eaten by Clinton. And Kai Vane lives on as an influencer forevermore.
So you're saying that the sexy monster gets really good head?
Yes.
I've been watching Drag Race all day, guys. I can't make it stop.
We're going to be banned from Facebook. This is the one time I multi-stream. Yeah.
Hup, I always make not safe for work jokes. You know this.
I know.
But yes, the seductive fish monsters were either going to eat you or mate with you. One or the other, depending on how they felt. Or both sometimes.
So, Rina, at least you died last time you played Cthulhu Dark. You don't want to get the reputation for always surviving in Cthulhu Dark.
I don't always survive.
That was a lot of fun. I really liked that.
Yeah.
That was great.
So what are they? They're sirens? What's the name of the creature?
Yeah, they're effectively they're sirens. There's the two types. There's the one that's kind of like new baby sirens are like jellyfish, and they kind of turn into fully formed women, usually taking on features of people that they've kind of attacked or scratched or bitten. If you're scratched or bitten by anything kind of that's been in contact with them for a prolonged period of time, it's like a disease, and like lycanthropy. So there's two types. There's the thrall, which is what Clinton became, who want to feed them. And then there's the sirens themselves, who are like the maters. They want to make more sirens. They do that by consuming bodies and mating with other people. And then they kind of appear as these weird jelly things.
Okay.
Then form.
And the local kids in the town like found the cruise ship and played on it, and the same thing happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the one in the tank is the again, sometimes I feel like there's not enough time to go into some of the backstory detail, or as a GM, I find it very difficult to insert the more nuanced elements. So, for example, the people at the petrol station the man was deliberately sending people and feeding the sirens. Hence the fish under the bin. He was like bringing things for them to eat. And the reason that the wife and the husband were doing that was because one of the missing pictures is one of the girls that you come across. But again, it's a bit tricky sometimes to get details like that in when you're in the flow of the game and stuff. So
and maybe because we immediately roll against each other when anything happens.
Yeah,
it's like all action from there.
Yeah.
That's rad.
I think the kind of just picking up hints and bits and pieces of the backstory works much better in a situation like that.
Yeah,
because it just adds to the horror. So
that was great.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm glad you guys liked it. I may one day actually write one of these down properly. I keep being I've got an idea, I'll write it, and then I get halfway through and I'm like, I've got another idea, I'll go write this one.
Somebody in the chat earlier said they wanted to play it, so you have to write it just for that person.
Awesome.
But yeah, that was fun. Why don't we go around the horn one more time, tell people like the coolest place to find you, and then we can call it a day, and then Rina can rest up to run Necropolis tomorrow at this half hour later than we started today, 1:30 Central Time. That's GMT -6. And then Kat, you're playing in that as well. Cool. So let's start with you, Kat.
Great game. I'm be a bit more active on the Discord as well, but I'm a bit of a techno hermit. I'm a bit like an old lady, and I'm like, how do you do this?
Discord's pretty easy. We just mostly make fun of Scott, and then everybody else makes fun of me. So, so there is the Discord. If you're in the chat, join us over on Discord. This is where we prefer to talk to people, I would say, rather than the traditional social media channels. So it's a good place to find us. And then, Kat, you're active on Instagram mostly?
So the main thing that I'm on is Instagram and Twitch. So if you go to Catherine Jenkins Art, it's sort of the same thing down there, but without the dot. Catherine Jenkins Art on Twitch. You'll be able to find me streaming on a Tuesday evening UK time or a Thursday evening UK time. Sometimes I do an ad hoc game stream on a weekend or an ad hoc art stream on a weekend, but they tend to be very hit and miss. So it's the Tuesday and the Thursday that I mainly stream.
Okay. Did you see how quickly I switched that over? Look at this production value. So follow Kat on both Twitch and Instagram. And then London, you're awesome, man. That was a lot of fun. This
fantastic.
Was the first time London joined us for a game. I hope you'll run a game for us one day, London, because you're so good as a keeper as well.
Oh, thank you. I would love to, for sure. But yeah, London, Carlisle. If you Google me, you'll get train schedules, so don't do that. Twitter and Instagram.
I was going to make some comment about how I've driven that route so many times.
Yes. But Instagram and Twitter, at London Carlisle, you'll find me there. Happy to engage with you all, and I would love to run a game for Ain't Slade. That would be a great honor, and it was a great honor being killed by you. So thank you very much.
Very cool. And then Spot Hidden, of course, is the Twitch channel.
Almost forgot. Spot Hidden.
Well, since I have the banners made, I can't let them go without showing them. And then, of course, Scott Dorward, the amazing Scott Dorward. Anytime I look for Call of Cthulhu shit, people are talking about Scott in the comments. So where can people find you? Blasphemous Tomes?
blasphemoustomes.com, the home of the good friends of Jackson Elias.
Very good. And Rina,
So
pick your top 4.
Yes. So you can find me on the Old Ways podcast, on the Horror on the Orient Express campaign. We have a great cast and a lot of fun, so please check that out if you're looking for more horror in your life, because everyone needs it. And this time it's horror on a train, sort of. And you can also find me on most of the Ain't Slayed streams, including Necropolis tomorrow, which I will be running, and maybe I'll be nicer to Kat because I survived her game, maybe not. We'll see. I am a fickle GM. And you can find me on Twitter at snarky_Romulan. You can find me on Instagram at the Inevitable Rina, which is also my nickname on Discord. I post a lot of retro photos. I promise I'm not as annoying as Kai. And you can find me on so many Discord servers. Like, chances are if you join a Call of Cthulhu Discord server, I'm probably there. So hoping to chat with people and hear your feedback on the game, and hopefully see most of y'all tomorrow for Necropolis. So
right.
Thanks for letting me be part of this.
Thank you, Rina. Of course, if you can't make Necropolis tomorrow, you can watch stuff on demand here on Twitch for 60 days, and then it lives forever on my plug, Patreon, unless it's Alien, which I lost. So patreon.com/ain'tslayed is where you can find my deep friendship. So go sign up. We're going to be playing World War Cthulhu over there. No, Kat's giving me like is it an OnlyFans face? But it's just our Patreon page where we have bonus content, and find us there. Tomorrow, Kat and Chuck and Wes and I are the players. Rina is the keeper of arcane lore for the first time on our streams. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Please follow us on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook if you're not already. If that's where you're watching us, go cross channels too. Follow us on all the other places. We're Ain't Slayed everywhere, I think. Everywhere that we're active. I have a TikTok, but I haven't posted one yet. All right. That's it. I'm going to end the broadcast now. Thank you and good luck out there.
Good night.